we go. All right, we are back for another week of the Fireside Tales with Indigo. I am that Indigo, and it's good to see everybody. I am excited to get back into this week and see what happens here. Should be should be interesting to say the least. We are going to be down one player. Grybek was having a lovely weekend out. He may be able to join us sometime tonight. He may not. Either way, I think we're going to have a good time. So hopefully he'll be able to make it in with us. So going to go ahead and get these players back on over to the mountain door, and we'll be joining them there as well. So sorry about that, guys. You'll have to go back down and find yourselves again down in that corner. Let's do this.
I get it.
Perfect. So when last we were with our players, they had finally managed to make their way out of the Glitterhaim, kind of a middle section of this dwarven mine. Almost a natural cavern system, basically a passageway from this mountain door area, which the locals call it, down to the inner sanctum, the forge area of this dwarven complex. They have made their way out of the Glitterhaim and up into the mountain door. It seems that there is some unfinished business here for a couple of these party members. And at the moment, this business has definitely come to the forefront for Ratul, the Red Earth, as well as Gok Sour Gut to an extent as well. So we are going to rejoin the party members. After they came up a stairwell, they found themselves attacked, beset again by some sturges, poking and prodding and trying to drain them of their bodily fluids. Nobody wants that to happen. So they managed to fight off the threat. A few of the party members got into a confrontation with some orcs and discovered during this confrontation that perhaps there might be a way to deal with this mountain that doesn't require fighting everything in it. So let's see what happens here. We'll go ahead and pick back up with this discussion between many of the party members here and Burdurg, who is an Eye of Groomsh shaman. Very powerful within this tribal setting here. And if anyone is unfamiliar, there's many orc tribes have gathered here, as well as hobgoblin tribes, goblin tribes, and apparently even an ogre. This monstrous army was formed by the will of a being called the Night Queen. And this person is still a mystery at this point. But some rumors have come about. So let's go ahead and pick back up. I think that we are going to actually start off in the hallway, just to the north of this party, with a couple of our party members. We did have a bit of technical difficulties towards the end of last week, so we did have to cut it short. So we're going to kind of catch up with what kind of happened towards the end of last week. So, Mara, you find yourself kind of coming up a stairway. At the top of this stairway, you can see that this definitely looks like an ancient part of this dwarven citadel. that has been completely gone through as far as being, a finished structure. You do see that there do seem to be some kind of iron grates over to the west that seem to be blocking the passageway going that way. You see Brasnic is standing over there and kind of studying these carvings that seem to be all along the walls of this chamber, and depicting dwarves mining and various other activities that dwarves usually partake in. Is there anything you'd like to do? So you're gonna
I'm gonna, like, very out of breath, walk over to Brasnic and say, "The troglodytes have been dealt with. We will not be having to fear them immediately for now. I think I took out enough of them where we'll be safe." Are you just lazily looking at these carvings while I was doing all the work, apprentice?
ouch.
Right. So, one, I never agreed to be apprentice. I said we could be, cohorts type of things. We're only the apprentice, as you see me use air quotes, while we were in the mages guild or whatever. Secondly, you were gone for a while. You sort of just disappeared. So don't blame me that I didn't know where you were, and then I didn't come looking for you when there's dwarven history all along those walls. We're in a dwarven fortress that has been sort of lost to most people. A little bit more important than wherever the hell you went. And also, we never really feared the troglodytes. They're just
Furthermore,
smelly. So yeah, the whole lazy comment you can keep to yourself.
I roll my eyes very exaggeratedly.
Yeah, go ahead, roll it in my eyes back into my eye sockets.
This is why elves and dwarves never get along.
Well, that's mostly because so far you've been slightly bit of a dick to most of us.
ouch.
Yeah, that's right.
Where did the
You
rest,
can't deny
where
it.
did the rest of the party?
They were down that way. There was some motion with some orcs. I think Ratul took the lead.
Do you want to go this? Is this I point to the carvings. Is this telling us what direction we're going, or are we just aimlessly wandering about?
I mean,
You're aimlessly wandering about. I know
I
where
was
you're
dealing
going.
with creatures that are despicable, that would have come up from behind and killed us if I hadn't been dealing with them.
That's right, because we were so defenseless with the multitude we've already killed before you went off on this little adventure.
Go ahead and roll a perception check, Brasnic.
Alright. 1 sec. Perception.
Okay.
12.
You do notice that there is obviously this door over here to the north end of this chamber, and also notice that there are several of these skeletons laying here, and they all definitely look to be the size of orcs.
Yep.
These skeletons do show signs of severe scorching. And you can see that there are rusted axe heads and things of that nature, but you don't see any signs of the handles of these weapons.
Which we all know are probably made from wood, and with signs of scorching have been burnt up. Yep, no, that's terrible. So yeah, no, I turn after pausing for a moment as I noticed, I'm gonna turn to Mar and say, well, yeah, no. The rest of us know exactly where we're going. Again, I said they went that way, as I point down this way. I was,
What's wrong? And I'm gonna point to the door. What's wrong with the door over there?
Never said anything was wrong with it. I'm just saying the rest of the party went that way.
Oh, okay. Do you think we should wrap around or meet up with them?
No, we should meet up with them going that way.
Our
Again.
door looks There are a lot of bodies around that door. I bet there's something pretty cool behind it, but if you say so.
Yeah, no, you should go that. We should go that way.
What about these bars? Do you think we can like pry them open and go this
There's
way?
a bunch of rubble on the other side of these bars, just blocking everything.
Okay.
It looks like
Have you
someone
heard any?
was trying to keep people out.
Okay. Have you gotten everything you needed from these carvings? I
Yeah, I'm
should
good
not
for
have
now.
called lazy.
Yeah, see, that would have been nice. I mean, if you came up less abrasive, we'd get along just fine.
It's frustrating after having dealing with stuff and feeling like you're doing everything. When you feel like you're doing everything, you tend to get abrasive, as it were.
I don't know why you feel like you're doing everything when you were doing one thing. But all right.
So as you guys are kind of talking about this door over here, you do notice that there seems to be 8 small spouts that are carefully worked into the stonework about 10 feet above the floor. And the door itself, on the outside of it, is carved into the image of a glowering dwarf's face. You can see the hinges on the outside.
Yep. Ha! I know exactly what that is, or at least I have a good guess. But yeah, let's go meet up with the party. Let's not test that door right now. We'll come back for a...
I will follow your lead for now.
Oh, what you looking at? Dead orc.
Okay. So as you guys make your way back south, we will rejoin the rest of the party here. Are you gonna just make your way into the chamber?
Oh, the door looked like it was closed. Yeah, I'm going in.
I'm going to examine the corpse of... This is an orc, correct?
Oh, I want to back. I don't want to be part of this.
Come join us, Brasnic. You're already part of this.
Stayed for the damn drawn. I don't want to be part of it.
Okay.
Come.
1 second before we join up with what happens in there. Mara, what were you trying to do with this orc?
I want to examine the orc and see if I can cut off its ears.
Okay.
I want money. My research is expensive.
You can definitely cut off this orc's ears. If you want to examine it, go ahead and roll perception.
Would that be perception or investigation?
I think when you're looting corpses, it's perception, right?
It's when
think
you're
it's
looking for something
investigation.
specific, it's investigation. When you're just looking around, it's perception.
Okay, investigation.
I'll just... Oh, is it invest... Okay, I don't really care. I just wanted to make sure it was the right roll.
Okay.
That wasn't...
You don't really find anything. You can definitely get his ears, though.
Okay, I'll put that on my
So
character
you're
sheet.
gonna take a moment to work at that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, does this just mean from behind I hear the dagger going
Yep.
Yeah,
through?
you,
Like
you
a
hear
flick.
a dagger being drawn and then kind of sawing at Flash as you're kind of stepping through the doorway.
At my foot against the ground to cover that.
As you enter, seeing what you see these 2 orcs here in front, and then you also see standing behind them another orc with like kind of a headdress on with like some horns coming out of it, some kind of like a toothy necklace, and you see that they're all female. And you can tell that this one that's standing behind the others is definitely, some sort of a leader or a more powerful person of this tribe. And as you enter, she kind of like, looks like she was talking, and she kind of stops and looks over at you. More dwarfs! How many of them are there?
2.
Yeah, there's 2.
Why do you bring dwarves here?
I mean, was it wrong?
They know the strongholds. They know passages.
Plus, they can have a way more intellectual conversation than you. But, you know.
Runt. Don't you realize they are just planning for more dwarves to come and take this place back from us? Fools.
Why would they just have, like, 2 dwarves if they didn't want to take this back? I'm just saying. I don't. That's a really, really crappy way of, like, trying to take back the land. They come here with, like, a jillion dwarves.
They'll come back with more, little runt.
Look, they just want to have, like, money and stuff, you know? And find valuables and stuff. They also would admire the architecture. You know, I mean, come on.
You have not explained yourself. Where have you been?
And she looks back at G-Ratul as she's saying this.
Where have you been? Why have you come back with these fellows?
I was lost for a time. I found someone. He taught me things, how to become stronger than I was. I joined with this group, simply because I had nothing left. And now I come here for a mission, sent by another, to gather the tools, the relics that were left behind by the dwarves, to take them, to exchange them. But now, something more pressing finds us.
Yes. The mess you left behind.
We were broken by the dragon's blade. That was not my doing.
Well, in this I do see opportunity. What are your intentions now? Would you defeat the Great Ulfe and take his place as our leader?
I do not seek a chieftain. I was lost for too long. It would take ages for me to return to the place I once was. My brother still lives, and my father groomed him to be chieftain. I will not take his place, but I will make sure the great oath is thrown over, and my brother is returned.
He means overthrown.
If... I do not know if it's possible. Your brother, Juga, is not the same. She has changed his mind. He is now hers. You will have to defeat her to free him.
So, what I need to do is the same thing we do to all naughty orcs. Beat them with it and enter their lives until they learn. Right.
Yes, well, you're not wrong there. Violence is always the answer. And
How many of the other tribes are here?
all broken. All fractured. We are one tribe now. We must have a strong leader.
And this oath is not the one we need.
He is from the wolf tribe. He is not like most of his kind. He is smarter, stronger.
He hails from the wolf. I knew them to be hunters of the plains. I did not know they brought such beasts in their pack.
We brought all to our fold. From the plains and the mountains. All of them came. Many were killed. And this Ulf saw an opportunity. And he went to the Queen and changed. He changed everything.
At this, Ratul just sort of furrows his brow. An ogre who can think. That is unusual.
He is smarter than most ogres. Perhaps not as smart as others. Maybe there's a chance for this to work. But only if there's someone strong enough to take his place. And again, she kind of looks at you appraisingly. And you can sense that she thinks you should be that person.
I have no intentions of becoming the chieftain, but until my brother is returned, I will assume the mantle once the oath is felled.
That is good enough then. And what of the rest of you? Is this all of you then?
Almost like kind of sort of an early.
Where's the elf?
Ratul, go ahead and roll a perception check.
You just had to talk about her. But we're already getting by with just dwarves. Okay.
That love relationship between orcs and elves is not much better than the relationship between orcs and dwarves. It is true.
14.
Okay. You can, as she's kind of talking, you notice that she kind of absent-mindedly kind of puts her hand on her abdomen as she's kind of like, as she's saying, perhaps this could work. And you realize that her belly seems to be swollen.
Shaman, you are with child?
You see her eyes kind of like widen up a little bit and then like narrow, and she looks instantly like angry, but not like she is angry with you. And she kind of stops and looks at the other two orcs, and you see them also kind of look at you, and you realize that their bellies are also swollen. And she kind of stops for a second, and she says, "The great elf wishes for his line to succeed forever."
He took all of you? How many others?
All of them.
Does he think he's some lion? That he is the master of a pride?
You can tell that. Go ahead and roll
Insight?
Insight. Roll that insight for me. 15's going to be good enough. You can tell that she seems to be holding some information back from you.
Shaman, if I am to help you, you must not hold things from me.
This I did not wish to tell you. But you are very perceptive. Your mother refused him, and he slew her for it.
Ratul. And he starts bulking up a bit.
Anybody else have anything to say about this?
I mean, it's a lot of information coming down, so I'm not going to get in the middle of this because he looks really pissed off. If anybody else does, go for it.
I mean, there's a small mumble. What would you call a child of an orc? An orc. But that's just dwarven tactics.
How loud was this mumble?
I will use my past perception on that.
Stealth check! Stealth check!
Go ahead and roll that stealth check.
Oh wait, no, my passive stealth is 17. So there.
Your passive stealth?
I mean, like, yeah, since this was mumble, I didn't say I want to do it silently. But because it's a mumble, it's quiet. I guess passive would be in it. Does your passive perception beat 17 or match 17? I'm normally a very quiet person anyways because of my profession, so.
No, passive perception of 14.
Good, you heard nothing.
Okay. So yeah. So you start bulking up a little bit. Do you say anything in response? Are you using a rage?
I look like I'm about to go into one of the famous orcish rages, but he suddenly just closes his eyes, takes a deep breath, as he brings his hands up in a tent fashion, centering his core.
Okay. She kind of studies you as you're doing this.
What are you doing? Who is this person you met in the wilds? How have you changed? You are so very different than any orc I've ever met.
I was lost, separated when the Dragon's Blade came. Lost, hungry, and tired. A dwarven wanderer, sitting all by himself. I found him. I attacked him. And I could not even land a single blow. Yet instead of killing me, he offered me food, drink, and rest. He taught me something I never knew possible. He taught me how to focus. And thanks to him, even my own hands have now become as strong as cudgels. My body as strong as steel. I have learned something more. I have become something unlike anything in our tribe.
Orc trained by a dwarf.
that travels with humans and elves. She kind of like just closes her eyes and shakes her head for a second. It opens them back up, and just kind of studying you. She says, "I think you may just be able to do this. A lot of you." And if you do not want this tribe, would you have this monstrous army do?
Join Gok Sour Gut.
I go ahead and back kick you.
Okay, I deserve that one. I deserve that one, but come on.
I feel like
Come
it was in
on.
character, though.
Oh yeah, no, this is also in character. As I just basically back kick Gok.
Okay, yeah. Can I? I don't know. I feel like I should probably take that. It's kind of. You know what? Don't do a save. I'm just gonna take that because it's like he kind of deserves it. So.
He kind of just like, gives you that little, sidekick. Not enough to do any damage, but just like that, shut up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, just go join Gok Sour Gut. Oh!
Oh.
Oh! God. Okay.
I'm imagining the cartoonish, you get kicked and like roll like a bowling ball backwards.
Yep.
Okay, I'll take that as valid criticism. And I'm just... Stop.
Okay.
For now, I once held the oath. We will be together and fell the Night Queen.
Hopefully your brother's mind is not gone entirely. He follows her around like a... what do you call it? A puppy?
He has lost his pride as an orc.
That just happened.
Oh, for crying out loud, that's immersive breaking. That sounds like fucking Jolt just talking to Gok.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Okay, where was I? Alright.
He has lost his orcish pride. Only cure to that,
As I ball up my fist.
is a good beating.
Yes. Well, hopefully your dwarvish training serves you well.
Damn, Skippy.
God damn it.
For now, we need for now, priestess, I request we have a moment to rest. A moment to gather our breath before we face this oath, or anyone else from the tribe that knows we're here.
Granted. And you see her actually close the door, the secret door behind her. Take your rest. None will disturb us here. If any of the slaves come, I will send them away.
I thank you, High Priestess.
Well, between now, Ratul, good luck living this down. Those two heard you say you were trained by one of them. Good luck with that.
Yeah, well, considering the fact that he could probably kick both their asses, I don't...
Alright, so, you guys gonna take a short rest, or what's the plan here?
Well, I would say we should keep moving forward, but I think a lot of the party members are kind of...
I think we're only due for a short rest. We had a long rest back inside the tomb.
Yeah. We had like 5.5 long rests.
Something like that.
Time. We slept a long time in that one.
Especially Yin
Or
Yang. He
tried
was
to.
very tired.
Yep, so I basically got us a short rest, so hit dice, recover your stuff, and yada yada yada.
Okay. What's Mara doing out here in this chamber?
She has just been studying her spell book, trying to determine. She's just thinking about the future, about like how she should prepare for a trapped dungeon, and realizing that she had prepared some of her spells wrong, was thinking about her future and trying to memorize them. Not like switching any of them out because she can't do that right now, but just like thinking long-term strategies and reviewing her notes on everything she knows of this everything she's collected to learn about this location. She's just reviewing everything she can.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a history check.
Can it be with advantage from spending the time?
Yeah, because you studied this mine. Oh,
Ooh.
advantage unnecessary.
Yeah.
You actually have heard a lot about this mountain door area. You didn't find any sort of maps or anything. You know that there's, the one entrance coming in. You have heard about the natural chimney, of course, in the notes. You know that there is the middle section, and then, of course, the lower forge area and the main citadel of this dwarven complex. Given that you rolled a natural 20, I would say that you also learned about this particular area. There was a note about the Great Dwarven Hallway depicting the dwarves at their forges and all of that, and then made mention of a trap that had been laid by the dwarves a very long time ago in the northern section of this room. And then it makes mention of carving of a glowering dwarven face.
That's a good thing I didn't go through there. But I'm never gonna tell my companion about that, because why would I let him know that I made a mistake?
I already know he did. It's too late.
But I've been out here reviewing everything. I needed a moment of clarity.
Absolutely. Okay, so you guys do take this short rest.
Might as well use it.
Yeah, anybody that wants to recover some hit points, please do so.
Okay.
And,
Really? That need? Do I use two? Nah, I'm only use one. That's good.
You're all rolling bad on a hit die recovery.
I know. A natural one, though. Okay. So everybody kind of takes a chance to kind of get a quick snack, a little rest, whatever you want to do over this hour.
I'm actually also going. If I'm also taking a short rest, I will use before it. I will use mage armor, and I will use my spell recovery, and I'll get 2 of my spell slots back. Let me put that in chat as well, so everyone can see.
Actually, while we're doing the short rest, Mara, what spells do you have in your spell book?
You would
Give me
have to
one
go
second.
track Mara down out in the hallway to.
Oh, I thought she was in here with us.
No, I'm not in there with you at all. I've been out here studying. I heard you guys having a conversation. I did not care. I was out here studying.
Okay, then yeah, I'll walk out and just Mara, she was here. Where'd she go? Oh, there you are, Mara.
Okay.
Hey, Mara.
Yes.
We're all taking a short rest in there, so while we're doing that, what are you doing?
I am reviewing my notes. I have copious notes about this fortress, and I've learned a lot about it over my time researching it.
Mm-hmm.
I need some privacy, though. I have.
Why would you need some privacy to study notes?
Because I don't want your loud, interfering, nosy behavior around.
Right. I'm the loud nosy. I mean, yeah, sure, whatever.
Okay.
Anyways, since you're supposed to be the master, I was wondering if I could have a look at your spell book so I know what I'm doing.
I could go over some of my spells with you.
Are you
I'm
sure I'm not
you
gonna
will.
be the loud and too noisy for it?
Well, anyone who's interested in the arcane is not an issue when it comes to going over my spells. I would
You gotta
love to share with you.
you gotta start letting people talk before you say rude things.
I
Like,
wasn't necessarily talking about you. I may have been
oh, it sure
talking
as hell
about.
sounded like you were talking about me though.
I may have been referring to a specific short individual with many companions who is loud and obnoxious and
Oh, shots fired.
is intruding.
Yeah, dang, man. Who could
I mean,
that
yeah, that's sort of
person
true.
be? Such a rude person.
This elf does
Again.
not like goblins.
No, that's good. Vic, I'm coming.
Uh,
Eh.
Actually, I realize I have an extra spell slot. Before I use my magic recovery, I can. Are you wearing armor?
Me? Yes.
Oh, never mind then. I can't. I was gonna put mage armor on you, but I can't.
Actually,
Okay.
would that give me a higher AC?
It takes a long time to take off your armor, and it's not really worth it.
It does not take a long time to take off your armor. It takes minutes to take off your armor.
Okay. I'm gonna
Well,
offer then, because I don't have to use my recovery just yet.
No, wait, hold up. But what does mage armor do?
Make you have a natural armor class of 13 plus your dex.
I'm role playing. Shush, you DM. This not your.
I'm sorry.
Mage armor is a fantastic spell that I learned many years ago, and I'm going to point out. Look, try and see the weave, and look around my form. Do you see this? It's not truly like a field, but more of a shimmering. Do you see that?
1 second. He puts a hand over his left eye and then squints with one. Alright, yeah, no, okay, I got it.
So this is imagine a field where it makes it harder to hit me, be it by luck or skill, or just like sometimes there are like panels that will deflect attacks. It's just a strong like presence around me, and it lasts about approximately 8 hours from casting. It doesn't require any concentration. It's something that you just have, and I can give it to you if you'd like. We'll lose a spell slot for the day. Otherwise, I can recover some of my spells by poring over my book.
It
But-
sounds interesting. I'll start stripping.
You definitely cannot wear armor with it. For some reason, it interferes when you're wearing armor. So I'm gonna actually turn away.
Just like undo the strings on various parts of
I'm
the
actually-
leather, the
I'm gonna-
leather armor.
Turn away. I'm gonna turn away when you do that. She's like,
No need to be shy, lads. I keep
Uncomfortable.
clothes underneath this.
I know, but she's still
Not
uncomfortable
walking
watching a
around.
dwarf
You know how much
strip.
chafing that would be? So chafed as I didn't have clothes underneath this.
I mean, it's just like kind of changing out of a fluffy jacket.
It's the dwarven dad body that she's not stoked about.
Oh. Okay.
How dare you?
It's the dad.
I don't have a dad body. A dad body would not be able to sneak like I do.
Well, it would be if it's looking for a nice beer.
How dare you? I have a better constitution than that. There's no dad body here. It's all tight and toned because alcohol's wild as dwarves.
I mean, I just grabbed a beer, so I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't.
I don't have any beer in my house.
I will then lay my hand on Brasnic's shoulder, and you see the same. If you're looking using trying to look for the weave, you see as the shimmering that's around me starts to envelop you slowly, and then very fastly envelops your whole body, and you can kind of see it every time you look, but it's not distracting at all. It's just something you just recognize, and you suddenly become clearer to.
An interesting use of spells. What other spells you got in there? This is actually quite useful.
Yes, spells are quite useful. Well, you've seen me create fire, these bonfires. You've seen me send the spectral hand of the chill touch. You've seen me perform many interesting things with my prestidigitation, of course.
I mean, you keep saying that, but a lot of times I'm not paying attention, so.
Oh, well, you should be paying attention. I know a quite useful spell, charm person, chromatic orb. which is a very fun spell where you can choose elements and fire those elements at people. It is and very enjoyable to be able to choose what you're doing. You're not limited. I know identify and detect magic as any well-rounded wizard should. You've seen mage armor, and you know magic missile. You use magic missile. Recently,
mhm.
before I left, I picked up this incredible spell. I haven't gone to use it yet, but it's called Expeditious Retreat. Allows me to get away in a really quickly, faster than our monk, I believe, even.
Mhm.
On top of that, I know Hold Person and Mind Spike, and you saw the. I don't know if you were able to see or saw the grip we fought earlier. I destroyed its mind with Mind Spike. It is quite potent, and I know Spider Climb and Knock, but those I've yet to try.
Ooh, okay. So the ones that interest me are the spider climb one, probably detect magic because apparently that's how you get well rounded. And damn, what was the other one you said? It was right. I think it was right after, or right before mine.
Hold Person. Oh, that's a great spell. It lets you paralyze someone, so your friends can either restrain them or finish them.
Never mind. Just the detect magic and the spider climb. We'll go over this after we get out of here because right now, as far as I know, I've heard, and when we're in the mage hall, there's tiers or circles of magic. I think right
Yes,
now I'm stuck
yes.
in the first one.
There are you can think of them as tiers would be an explanation. Levels, uh, powers,
Schools.
different cultures, different people use different terms.
I'm gonna stick with tiers. I'm stuck in the first tier. So, are any of those spells I mentioned interesting? Not the first tier.
Yes, detect magic is. It's one of the first spells many wizards learn because it's important to see the weave in its entirety and not just acknowledge that it exists.
Wait, so it lets you see magic or it lets you feel? I mean, it's called detect magic. So does it let you see or just know that it's there?
So as a practitioner of the arcane, you could see the weave to some degree, but have true clarity, you need detecting. You need to like detect it. It gives you the ability to truly see what magic is being used in all the magical sources in your area without uh, without confusion and with true understanding. To divine the truth of magic.
Feel like you should and magic in separate sentences, but I get what you mean. Yeah,
I
so
will be more than glad to teach you. It's a spell, in fact, that has a ritual version of that I perform often, and it'd be nice to have someone else to help with that.
sorry. So yeah, the next time, we bed when we bed down for the night, and it's time for us to share, take watches. Me, you can share a watch and work on.
Of course.
Yeah, over the course
But
of this short rest, you wouldn't have enough time to be able to
Yeah,
transfer.
we're just chatting while we're going through
Of
things.
course.
and
Yeah,
then is the spider climb thing not the first? Not first.
No, you'll have to wait some time and be a little more advanced in your spell casting. I have yet to use it myself. It was something that I got a copy of the spell and transcribed it into my book recently.
Does it do? Does it, I mean just to make sure this isn't some weird magic person's way of messing with me? Spider climb does mean I'll be able to walk along the wall and stuff like that.
Well, supposedly what it lets you do is move up and down any surfaces without using your hands. It's just like you can walk as if any place was solid ground. I don't
Oh,
know
that
exactly
gonna be
how it does it.
good.
Each mage has their own method. I'd have to experiment with mine and see how it works for me. It might just be simply I just walk, but for you, it could be uh, there are tethers that let you that come from your body. It's just the expression of your magics that determine how it's done. It might actually turn your legs into spider legs. Who knows?
Just a moment of horror.
I would be incredibly fascinated in how if it would behave that way. I'd love to see the outcome of that.
I'm sure you would if it was your own goddamn legs. I ain't no way in hell am I happening to me.
I think it's about the time the rest of the group pops their head around the corner and be like, "Yo!"
She's telling me whole things. No, I'm kidding.
So yeah,
I think
you
we're
guys
about to
definitely
get moving,
notice
guys.
the two of these party members have kind of disappeared for quite some time during the course of this short rest. So somebody does kind of pop their head out and give you the old heave-ho, thumb over the shoulder.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're coming.
Hey, lovebirds, we're kind of moving.
How dare you? Don't. That's not a joke.
Ouch.
No.
The dwarf.
Hey, I'm neither dwarf nor elf, and she's half of what I am. I can make the jokes of a lot.
Nope. No. You can be a lovebird with her. They would know this would never happen.
Mira's full elf. She's not a half elf.
I thought, oh, my mistake. I thought she was half elf.
No, she is a high elf.
Well, then that comment was never said.
Yeah, I was very confused when you said that.
I honestly
Yeah.
thought you were a half elf. My mistake.
Okay.
Like, you know she's a pure elf because she's completely...
Racist?
I was gonna say has different opinions on goblins and dwarves
Yeah,
than what a half-elf would have, you know?
maybe.
But you said it, not me, so, you know.
So as you guys enter into the room, again, she kind of, is watching Brasnic as you kind of cross the room, kind of clearly is still unhappy that there's a dwarf here. And Mara, as you enter the room, you see her kind of look over towards you, and her eyes narrow upon seeing you, and, realizing, seeing the elf in question, not having seen you before, you see that the instinct to have, that negative reaction kind of, kicks in, and then she just kind of, visibly stifles her protest.
It's okay, orc lady. I had the same reaction when I saw her too. She came up very abrasive. It's alright. Wait, did I just agree with?
Yes.
Never mind.
Yes, yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
Shut up! It never happened.
Okay. So other than that, she doesn't really react to your presence, but again, you can tell that these orcs are uncomfortable with anyone but Gok and Ratul pretty much at this point.
It's quite cramped in here.
Yes.
Not really.
Let's get moving.
Yeah,
Yes.
don't make this awkward, Mara. Jeez.
This plan is quite insane.
What was the plan again?
I will try to keep them off of you long enough for him to challenge the Great Ulf. It is the only way, otherwise they will all come for your heads, and then mine.
You risk greatly for this. You have my eternal gratitude, O priestess of Grumesh.
They will kill us all if we are not careful.
Then you have all of our gratitudes.
Yeah. You're it's bad,
The Great Oaf.
Well, that was pretty nice.
Do you say that out loud?
That was a whisper to God. That's what this part is for.
Okay.
What?
So
Come on.
Brasnic whispered to you. He posted it in the chat.
Okay. He's like a giant ogre guy, you know?
Wait, what the fuck is he? Is Ratul gonna fight an ogre by himself?
Yeah. He said he's gonna say 1v1 me, you nerd, and then they're gonna fight each other, you know? That's pretty crazy.
I mean, I have great faith in Ratul. He's done some significant things, but 1v1 an ogre
I mean, he
doesn't
gets
seem
more.
like a great idea.
I mean, the more he gets hit, the more he gets angry, the more damage he does. That's how it works, right? You know? Just.
I don't know exactly. Ratul doesn't seem like most berserkers I've known, and believe me, we have some great dwarven berserkers.
Indeed, those battle ragers are legendary.
Yeah. But,
The ultimate huggers.
You know, if I wasn't more of the stealthy persuasion and stuff like that, and life hadn't led me that direction, and slightly more insane, I'd totally be one of those gut bust guys.
You know what they say, hug and wiggle.
yeah.
I mean, like, that's their general battle cry, but yeah.
Oh god. Actually, that would be terrifying.
Hug and wiggle! They all just charge in.
Wiggle boy.
Oh god.
God, that's terrifying. I'm kind of glad we don't have fan art right now.
I was about to say, and you were talking about fan art before, Ratul. Oh boy.
Woo!
I regret everything I just said.
I regret at least the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Great job. Great job, Brasnic. That's going to be one of the lines in the fan writing between Ratul and Brasnic.
It's on the internet now. It is forever.
Don't do it, guys. Don't do it. Be better than the rest of the internet. Don't do it.
It's going to be Brasnic and Mara surrounded by wiggling battle ragers.
Oh god, no.
And none of them are wearing pants.
Alright, we've gone down.
Fire?
We've gone
just
down a terrible
feeding it.
path here.
Because some people like to see the world burn.
Because some people like to see the world burn. It's true. So, you finally see Berderg hold up her hand in the ensuing chaos of this party. And says, well, there's only one way to go about it then. I will have to make you all look like prisoners. I'll take you in.
Before the whole throwing and clapping me in irons, how long is it to get to where we need to go?
You see her just kind of reach behind her and without even really looking, just pounds once on the wall. And you see this section of door swing open behind her that looked like seamless wall before.
Does that answer your question, dwarf?
Not entirely, since all you did was open a damn door.
She said this passage is the direct line to where the great Ulfe is.
Alright, that's true, and it's not gonna take more than an hour. Oopsie bitsy bowdy boop. Boop. And I look like an orc. I'm just a little short for an orc. That's about it.
Ratul just stares at you. Are you using disguise self? You fucking are, as I just fucking stare at you.
Gosh.
Okay.
Hey, it's like a cross between an orc and a goblin. Calm down.
Look, I mean, it could have been worse. He could have just asked for, like, give me one of those kind of, give me an orc outfit, but let it be like a kind of cruddy Chuck E. Cheese kind of thing situation. But you know, you have a face hole, so it looks like there's this.
I'm a big beefy goblin. Calm down.
It's true. You are a very squat orc or a very rotund goblin. Either one.
I'm going to say, because I'm just going to say with Ratul as the main specimen here, he's a rotund goblin.
You don't get to choose how my illusion looks, okay? It's my magic.
What a wonderful,
I'm a beefy goblin.
wonderful cast. Well, maybe you will be willing to trade me, or at least Let me see how you know that spell. I would love a copy of that. It's one I've been looking for a long time.
It's weird. Like illusion and enchantment type magics seem to click a lot faster than everything else. I guess it's because I'm, of the sneaky variety. It's like, it's probably has to do with mindset. But right, I'm ready to go.
Well, at least your appearance has improved a bit.
Could I not be put in chains? Because I mean, I kind of worked here. Feel like,
I'm certain she met all of us who were not supposed to be here shall be in chains.
Smack
Okay.
Gok upside the head. Shut up, shorty.
Don't worry, slave. No one will question you.
Yeah, slave boy.
Yeah. No, you shut up. I'm not taking this from you. I'm barely taking this from her, but I'm doing it because of him, and I'm pointing at Ratul. And you can't boss me around, you fat goblin. I mean, come on. You're not even like one of the legendary goblins. You're like the crappy knockoff version of that guy. He's my hero.
Stock is bigger than you, so stock is better.
Oh, you have a father belly and you know it. You're like a fat goblin.
Exactly.
With a little bit of muscle
that
on
I'm
you.
wealthy because I ate the most.
Your spell has limited use. I think we should be on the move.
Children, yes.
Look,
please.
I'm just saying,
I agree with her. Let's go.
a fat goblin isn't like really bad. It means you're pretty rich. So it's kind of like a compliment in that way.
I
Yin
know.
Yang, you see this orc next to you kind of reach into this pile over here and pull out some manacles and start approaching you with them.
I'm gonna tell you right now, they remain unlocked.
The orc kind of looks back at Berderg, and Berderg just nods.
I'll play the part, but they remain unlocked.
They already nodded, man.
You hold out your hands.
Yeah.
Okay. So she puts the manacles around you, and they clink, but she doesn't use any. You can see that there are, keyholes and like very crude keyholes on there. These do seem to be of dwarven make, and she doesn't lock them or anything like that. But they do kind of clasp. But you can tell that you could easily, unlatch them and get free of them in a moment.
Yeah, I'm pretty much gonna, if I'm not being like drugged by a chain or anything like that, I'm pretty much just walking behind her. I'll pretty much have it to where the manacles are like rested up against me, or my hands are sitting in the position that I'm pretty much holding it shut, so like a small jostle or small bump won't make it just pop loose.
Okay.
But in like perfect orcish, I say, hey, give me the other manacles. I wanna clap the elfin irons. I totally forgot that I know orc and goblin.
Okay.
I look at you even more since I now realize you can actually speak my tongue.
Turn around to knowing that enemy, baby.
Okay. So she kind of makes her way through, and was approaching the elf with some manacles, and then stops, and actually looks over to Berderg, and Berderg just kind of chuckles a little bit and nods, and the orc hands you the manacles.
I'm gonna say, with all due respect, and I'm gonna use prestidigitation and have like an illusionary handcuffs on both my wrists, and I'll just keep performing prestidigitation until we get there.
You
I don't
really
really
need these. Yes, you do.
I am.
I'm
totally
like
fine
trying
with
to grab her arms.
Does prestidigitation do minor illusion like that?
No, it does
So-
not.
I don't think
It
it does.
says, wait, no, what it says is you can.
You can create a small trinket in the size in the palm of your hand. That does not
Oh,
include
it's just
handcuffs.
okay,
Yeah.
not okay. I thought it was the size of your hand, not the palm of your hand.
Yeah, I don't think that.
Well,
would
you
quite-
could have manacles the size of the palm of your hand. So there you go.
You can clap them around fingers.
It's
like,
a-
oh, no.
it's a trinket set of manacles.
Just imagine that's what happens. It's like, no, I've got this, and then she just creates.
They're
Yeah,
actually.
you got handcuffs for a pixie.
Yeah, it's actually like earrings.
Oh, never mind then. Damn.
Oh, that's great. That is wonderful. Can that be canon? Please, please let that be canon.
Where it's too small, where
Yeah.
it just doesn't fit the wrists. Yeah.
So
Okay.
it's like the lady who's been like, oh, I'm the master of magic, and then all of a sudden, I got this.
She's like, I got this, and then the little tiny manacles appear in her palm.
Oh, master, that was great. That was a good one. Clamp.
I'm gonna make sure that I can pull my hand out or like unhook it within like 2 seconds, like where it's within a very short period of time where I can take these off.
So as you're doing this, Brasnic, as you're clamping on the one manacle onto her wrist, the orc kind of comes over and actually grabs the other manacle and clamps it onto your wrist. So you two are chained together.
Oh, perfect.
I've got to stop agreeing with orcs.
Grybek, you see, is manacled over here in the corner, but at the moment he's still enjoying his short rest.
What's the solution to toting around a living suit and armor?
You see the orc kind of looking at the armor and just very confused, and this armor just kind of seems to be standing there right next to Gok in sort of a protective stance. The orc again just kind of looks confused, and then Berdur doesn't even say anything. She just shakes her head and turns and steps through the doorway.
So are we being pulled like a chain line, like a chain gang, or?
Yep, I'm going to go ahead and grab the front of the chain here.
Okay.
Ratu has your chain. I've got Mara's, and I guess either the other orc lady or Gok has Grybek's.
So
yeah, I guess so. You know.
there is a chain that actually runs between the four of you, or the five. Well, no, because Ratul is actually not in chains either. So what we can do is actually Gok would probably have to come in after Berdur, and then Ratul would be dragging the other three in chains behind him, with the two orcs following up behind you.
Alright.
So basically showing that Ratul is kind of rejoining this tribe with some prizes in tow.
How dirty is the ground in front, like in the room? Like how dirty?
I mean, it's pretty filthy. It's an ancient citadel that's been around for centuries, and then it was inhabited by orcs.
I'm kind of gonna reach down, grab some piles of dirt, rub them up on my biceps and a little bit on my face. Kind of looks like there was a bit of a scuffle, and I was captured, not just cleanly taken.
Oh, it also helps the fact that you have a giant welt mark from my hand.
How do I have a giant welt mark from your hand?
The slapping of the sturges.
I'm pretty sure the red mark passed by now, but
It's on
okay.
his belly.
I was
Okay.
just pretty much trying to make it look more like it was a scuffle and then I was captured, that kind of thing. Just to give more into the...
Okay, so you guys start making your way through this hallway, and this animated armor is kind of clunking along behind you, with the orcs following along behind here. You guys get to the end of this hallway that you're traveling in, and you see Berdur. From this side, you can easily see the outline of another door that seems to be kind of part of the rock wall itself, and you see her press another little alcove as this door also swings open. And as she steps through, you guys can go ahead and step through as well.
I was
And,
gonna tap on the shoulder. You can tell him, just bloody my lip real quick.
Will you ask me to blow your lip?
Yeah, like not enough to hurt me, just bloody my lip, make it look like there was a scuffle, a fight.
Alright then. Ratul is just going to bring his fingers together in a motion you actually would probably recognize, as he makes the turtle pinch with the turtle pinching pose with his fingers. Grabs your lips and
Mother. All right. Okay, we're good. Hear that tasty.
Okay. So, you guys are led by this orc shaman. And you come out, and you can hear that the sounds of these goblin warrens are getting much louder now. As you guys kind of make your way into the orc caves. The section where this monstrous army has taken over in here. So, she kind of comes to the end of this hallway here, and Gok, you would know from your previous time here that to the left of where you are kind of leads towards the prisoner cells, as well as the kitchen area where you were assigned much of the time. To the right, you know that there's pretty much like a bunch of caves where they keep stored loot and things of that nature, as well as the passageways leading toward what used to be a guards captain's quarters, as well as barracks for soldiers.
Okay. It's
So you see her kind of stop in this hallway here, and she looks back at the rest of you, and she kind of lowers her voice a bit and says,
Everybody, be ready. Play your roles. We all die.
what was that?
I nod my head and pull the cap of my barricade down as I get more into a hunched position.
and I'm just going to brush off some dirt from myself, and I'm ready.
Okay. So you see her start making her way this way. You guys are going to be in control of your tokens from here on out.
Okay.
And just to clarify, I'm being pulled by Ratul.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone in chains is being pulled by me.
Yin Yang, Brasnic, and Mara.
Yay.
So you guys are all going to want to try and stay within 5 feet of him as much as you can once you get out of this hallway here.
Yeah.
So, you do see Birder kind of disappear around the corner.
Oh.
How much of this area can you see in here, Yin Yang? Are you still stuck to the torch?
Well, I'm still stuck to the torch, but I was going to ask you, was like,
Brasnic, you're in front of me.
did I even have it out considering I'm a prisoner?
Actually, yeah, you're right about that. They probably would have taken that away from you. So you would be in darkness right now, except for knowing that you have Ratul next to you. You know, you have your party members around you, but it is pitch blackness for you right now.
Well, I can't move my token in black, so either, I guess, attach me to Ratul somehow, or...
Can you see his token?
I cannot.
Okay. I will move you. It's fine.
Maybe give him like 5 feet of dim vision.
Oops. Sorry, Mara.
Yeah, I moved it. There you go.
Yeah, you're good. Okay. So yeah, as you guys walk out, Gok, you do see, this has been a while since you've been here, but it definitely, obviously, these environments, you recognize this well. You've come over here plenty of times to pull water out of this, for cooking or to bring water to the members of the army and things of that nature. You do see a goblin over here is actually kind of dipping a bucket into the well as you kind of come around the corner, and it kind of like stops and looks up at you, and not recognizing you at first, it kind of just stops to study you for a moment, and then as Ratul kind of comes around the corner with his prisoners in tow, you see him kind of drop the bucket. And he starts, and you hear him say in Goblin, basically calls out a warning. And you see these other goblins kind of like laying about. It seems to be a bunch of lazy goblins in here at the moment. You see this one kind of wakes up. He's like, and just kind of looking around. You see this other goblin kind of coming around the corner, and you definitely stirring the nest, as it were. You see Berderg kind of holding up her hands as these goblins start kind of looking around. Mara, you see another goblin kind of coming up this way, and it immediately pulls out a weapon. And is being very hostile, but knowing that Berderg is there, it hasn't attacked quite yet. But you see the alarm kind of going up. You do see Berderg kind of like holding up her hands and like trying to calm these goblins. So let's do this.
Ooh, I think I smell a skill challenge coming up.
Yes.
I am not a diplomat.
So,
I got diplomatic right now.
is going to.
Oh no!
Oh no! Even with advantage.
Oof.
You see, Berderg is like, "Everyone, calm down. These are prisoners. We will take them before the Great Elf." And you see this goblin standing here, just kind of like drops whatever it was holding, and you just hear, "Great Elf, Great Elf, Great Elf," as it runs off this way.
I don't know if that's bad or if that's good, because it's,
And you see Berder kind of like take a deep breath, almost like she knew this might happen, but she was hoping you might get a little bit further into the complex. After this goblin kind of disappears off around the corner and into the darkness, a few moments later you start hearing boom, 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 as his drum beat starts sounding repeatedly and growing in volume.
Do I recognize this beat?
Yes, both Gok and Ratul recognize this as a call to arms.
ah, crap. Okay.
Keep it moving.
I whisper to Gok as or loudly shout so all the goblins can hear, in Orcish,
All of you lot get back to work! I am moving through, and if you get in my way, I will crush you underfoot!
Okay. So you have seen these goblins kind of getting close and threatening. Not quite close enough to strike at you or for you to strike at them, but you can see that they are kind of closing ranks and being very threatening and harassing. Go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Could I assist Ratul in an intimidation check?
Yeah, what would you like to say?
Basically, I'm doing what every good goblin does with an orc. And toadying up talking about what Ratul will do to you. You know, what the big man is gonna do to you guys. He'll snatch you up and eat you just like an ogre would. Yeah. No, because that was always the problem back then with the big evil army. Just an ogre grabbing a goblin randomly and then eating them because they were hungry. Oh, well, you know what?
Does that help enough?
Yeah, go ahead and roll that intimidation check with advantage.
Oh my god! What the hell?
I even tried to help you, man. Come on.
It's almost the exact same roll that she failed with.
It almost is.
Okay. Well, let's see.
What the hell's with... Okay, we're getting all the bad rolls out.
Gosh, I hope so. Oof. Okay, so, Yin Yang, you're kind of in the darkness. All you hear is goblins around you, and the sound of them growing louder. You hear these war drums. You kind of hear the sloshing of water next to you, and you kind of feel like a stone wall to the right of you, almost like a ledge of some sort. And suddenly you feel this like slash at your leg, and you hear off to like your flank to the right, and then you hear the scuttering sound away from you. You do take 1 point of damage as this goblin just kind of flicks out and strikes at you, just testing.
Kind of let out a grunt of pain, kind of like angrily look around, but I'll keep my chain.
Okay.
May I react to that?
Yes.
I'm not gonna pull out one of my javelins. I'm gonna pull out the iron stake I've been holding on to.
Okay.
And I'm going to launch it at it.
All right. Go ahead and roll an attack. Oof. All right, so you turn around, and as you pull this thing out, and you just launch it across the room, it sails over this well, and it just impales this goblin to the wall. You see it actually kind of like the iron spike just kind of quivering as it's sticking out of the wall, and you see the goblin like, as it's trying to like pull it out, and just utterly failing as it slowly just kind of, the blood just starts dripping down the wall as it finally just kind of expires, hanging, pinned to the wall. You see these other goblins. Let's roll for these goblins.
Anyone else?
Let's roll. Let's roll a wisdom check. How wise are these goblins? Very. You see them definitely responding as you would expect to this. You see them instantly just kind of like holding their ground, backing up, and very, very aware of the power of this orc amongst them. Obviously, they are used to, the dominant nature of orcs over goblins. And you see them definitely responding and respecting this as they kind of start keeping their distance. You see Berderg with that. She kind of smiles and nods her head. It's well done. It's kind of under her breath as she moves on. You see goblins like backing away from her as she kind of glowers at them. You guys gonna continue to follow?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So as you guys start making your way through this hallway, again, you see these goblins kind of gathering and keeping their distance from you. As Berderg kind of steps up to where she is there. Gok being behind, and I'm going to go ahead and move the rest of you guys to be kind of in tow.
As Yin Yang sort of probably stumbles along in the darkness, I kind of grab his arm to give him steadiness, but to basically also shout out,
Keep moving, slave.
Okay.
I'll kind of just spit blood at the ground in front of his feet and keep walking.
Okay. So, let's roll a performance check on that.
On me or?
Everyone or just?
Actually, have everyone roll performance checks. As this is happening, you suddenly, up ahead of you, those of you that can see, suddenly notice these two forms come around the corner. And you see two of the largest wolves you've ever seen in your life come around this corner. You see these two dire wolves suddenly standing there side by side, almost like twins in the darkness. And you see one of them just kind of as it sees all of you.
oh, it probably doesn't help I'm still wearing the bloody bear belt, is it?
Roll some performance checks.
Do I get any boost or maybe advantage for trying to make myself look like I was in a scuffle and have Ratul bust my lip and everything?
Brasnic, roll with advantage. Yin Yang, go ahead and roll with advantage. Gok, roll with advantage as well as Ratul.
Oh,
Just
thank God. Okay. Thank
And I rolled.
God.
Oh.
There we go! Of course I fucking pulled it off.
There you go. It's just me who's gonna.
Oh,
That's fine.
19. Okay, thank God. Ooh.
Oh, there we go.
14.
I look lazily disinterested in the whole thing, but that's just me.
Plastic's not any better.
Oh no.
Hey, that's 4 successes and or 3 successes for 4 sure, and then looks like 3 failures
Okay.
or 2 failures.
So you see these wolves studying you extremely intently. And you see one of them, the one on the left, looks right at you, Mara, and growls very low. But the one on the left, this one here, you see it kind of like cock its head a little bit as it's studying this extremely squat orc, this rotund goblin that is standing amongst this party over here. And you see it, and its eyes kind of grow wide a little bit, and it immediately...
Can I sleight of hand make him smell like a goblin using prestidigitation?
It's too late.
Because I can create smells with it. It's too late. Fuck. Okay.
Hold on, what are the components for prestidigitation?
Verbal and somatic, but I could use sleight of hand to make it like try and do it quietly.
Sadly, the smell of dwarf is too strong
Fuck.
in these caves. As this wolf lets howl.
Oh my God. No.
And you hear... and then... of huge footsteps coming towards you.
I'm gonna sort of grunt underneath my breath back towards Brasnic.
They've noticed you.
You also hear the sounds of other smaller running feet. As behind these wolves, you see goblins, you see hobgoblins, you even see a bigger, meaner looking goblin than the rest. Must be some sort of a boss.
Hey look, it's your old boss! Gok.
But most importantly, as this wolf kind of steps forward a couple of steps, behind it and around the corner, and then flanked by a host of orcs, you see this giant ogre step out from around the corner. And you all see this guy.
Not everyone. I don't think.
Oh, he's pulling up the
Yin Yang
page for
can
us.
see- I don't think Yin Yang can see it though.
I don't think you can.
Except instead of a giant battle axe, you see on his belt, or on his back, I mean, a huge great sword. And it almost seems to curl out from behind him. And it looks like it's in the shape of a giant wolf's claw.
Okay, that sounds way too distinctive. Could I roll a history check to see if I... Because this sounds like a signature weapon of the wolf tribe, doesn't it?
It does. Go ahead and roll.
Nope, don't remember. Fucking screw the wolf tribe.
You were too busy hunting, doing your own things. You do, know that this tribe did exist. You didn't know that they kept ogres amongst them, and to see this ogre standing here as the leader of this monstrous army is almost unheard of.
Wait, I think that's Ron. I think he ate my brother likes, lip back.
You see this ogre kind of studying you. Hold on, I gotta get the rest of these orcs out here. Because there's a bunch of them. And they all want to kill you. So you do see this whole horde of orcs kind of running out. You see them kind of like looking at these hobgoblins, almost angrily or disdainfully. But they're definitely still kind of all working together. You see these goblins kind of closing ranks around you, kind of crawling up on these garbage piles, trying to get out of the way, and you see them all, along with this drum beat, they all start kind of stamping along with this drum beat. As you see this ogre kind of stepping forward, he says, "Oh, oh, oh, oh. What have we here?" As you see Birder kind of shuffling forward, and you see her almost looking kind of meek and afraid of this creature. She kind of looks back at you, Ratul. She says, "Out of the way, slave!" to Gok. "Bring up the prisoners."
I just pull the grip on the chain towards Yin Yang roughly and just jut him forward as I come to stand beside Berdard.
I'll fall to my knees and come forward.
Okay.
Trying to give off the hint of weakness.
I stand proud and look at this disgusting creature.
Okay. So you do see... Oh, wait. You see him kind of studying you guys. Let's see. Let's see how the deception works here.
She's sweating bullets.
She definitely looks extremely nervous, extremely scared in this moment, and she says,
We have slaves, new prisoners to present.
And you see the Great Ulf just kind of looking at her and looking at you guys. And how perceptive is the
Trying to keep my head bowed with the bear cape on top of me to try to prevent my face from being seen just yet. Oh crap, he's good at wisdom.
Sometimes the dice just really want to tell a good story. So you see the Great Ulf kind of like looking over the party. He's like, son of Zorak. Do you think to fool the Great Ulf?
Considering your name sounds like Great Oaf, I didn't think it was hard.
What have you come for then? Would you like to die like your father?
At this point, I just go ahead and let the chains drop to my side as I just get out of my hunch position and go to my full height.
No. I came to topple you.
None have ever defeated the Great Ulf. None shall today.
Grab your token and roll initiative.
Everyone or just Ratul?
Well, what do you... Oops, I accidentally deleted the Great Ulf. Damn it.
You rolled a 9!
And 19!
No, you rolled 9.
Roll 9.
Damn it, GM
We all
powers.
see it. We all see it.
GM
We all
mods.
saw it. Yeah.
Ah!
Okay. Man, that would have been awesome if you guys went at the same time. Okay. So what do you say to the Great Ulf after this?
That's because you haven't met me.
And I'm gonna go all out. I'm gonna enter a rage and let my gauntlet ignite.
Do you challenge?
I challenge you, Great Oaf, for the position of chieftain.
You see all these orcs that have kind of gathered behind. You see them start to look around at each other and looking at the Great Ulf. And you see a couple of them even start nodding a little bit. You see them kind of just looking around, and they also start clapping their weapons together to the beat of the great drums.
And I'm gonna go ahead and start doing what I do best. As I just bum rush him, and I'm going to go for a grapple.
Okay.
At this point, can we say any light was lit up for them? Or, I mean, if they're obviously going to do a fight, is there any light in the room now?
No, these creatures don't need it. So if you want to, now that the jig is up, you could definitely, take an action to get a torchlight.
Or should we roll initiative at this point, everyone, or just do like between there and after their round we can?
Well, yeah, it does seem that Ratul is challenging this creature to combat. So what you guys do, I suppose, is on you. But you don't know what the results of your actions will be if you interfere with this challenge.
Wait, could we just kind of prepare to do stuff in the meantime? Like,
Absolutely.
not
If you
not
want
take a
to...
hostile action, but just be ready in
Uh-huh.
case something happens.
Of course.
And I guess then we would be able to roll initiative. But I don't know. So, let's
So-
see where the wind blows on it. So
Okay.
not doing
So for now, we're not going to have you guys roll initiative. But if you guys do want to kind of, say that you're preparing for something to go down, then you can absolutely do that.
Okay.
Yin Yang, if you want to try and take a moment to get a torchlight or something like that, you are welcome to do that as well.
Well, I'd pretty much just say out loud, someone tell me what's going on, or I'm gonna have to make a move. I'm hearing stuff go down. I'll say that with the other people near me who can see, be like, y'all better give me a heads up, or I'm gonna do something.
You see Bird
Yeah, I'm gonna.
kind of rushing away from this confrontation.
Yep, and also that is a 23.
Okay, you're trying to wrestle.
Oh, you're gonna wrestle the Ulf.
I'm gonna wrestle the Ulfe.
Okay. All right.
Oh shit.
So, this is a large creature. You can still wrestle a large creature because of your nature, correct?
I think just in base grappling rules, you can still wrestle a creature as long as it's only one size larger or smaller than you.
Yeah. I mean, he wrestled a troll.
Strong build though, isn't it?
Okay. Does a large creature get advantage though?
Nope.
Well, Ratul, do you have that large body thing or whatever as an orc that allows you to, grip and grapple and push as a size larger than yours?
Yes, I actually do have powerful build.
Yes.
And you're pretty much grappling him as if you were him the same size as him. So
Right.
it's straight roll.
Yep. Okay.
Except for your advantage for raging.
Yep.
Okay. So how are you trying to grab him?
I'm just going for a straight belly rush as I just grapple him from the front.
So just around his midsection?
Yep.
Okay. So you rush up to him and you're able to get him and grapple him around his midsection. You are gonna have him grappled, but he's definitely not restrained by any means.
Nope, but his speed is 0, and that's all I can really do for right now. So that was bonus in main, so that's it for me.
Okay. All right. So as you come up and you grapple around him, just right around his waist, and he kind of stops for a second. He just as he just belly laughs at your holding on to him, and you see him just and being a barbarian yourself, you realize that this great creature is also going into a rage.
Oh no! Oh, this is not good.
Wait, he's doing what?
He's raging! He's raging too!
Oh no!
And as he finishes with his rage, he kind of, well, that's going to be his action. So he can't actually do anything else this round. Oh, wait, no, it's a bonus action to rage, right?
Yep.
Yes. This is going to be interesting because he is now going to get that advantage on strength checks and strength saving throws. So go ahead, and he is actually just going to clamp his hands right down on your back, and he is just going to try and do like a little spin maneuver and throw you up against the wall and away from him. Go ahead and roll that strength check, sir.
Advantage or disadvantage?
You
Oh,
are
boy.
raging, so you have advantage as well.
Oh yeah, that's what he's saying. It's fantasy.
Oh!
That's a tie.
Matched!
But it's a natural 20. So as he grabs a hold of your shoulders, he is able. You fight against him with everything you got, but the size of this creature is so immense, as he is able to kind of like use his weight in his belly to his advantage as he shoves you up against the wall and away from him. And he says, "Oh, Great Ulf, not that easy," as he pulls his giant sword off of his back. And then,
I got a question.
yes.
How do you play with some like spells that just require a somatic component, which just means like hand motions? do you have like advantage on sleight of hand versus like one that's like verbal components, or is it just exactly the same?
Oh, I'm sorry. What was the question again?
The difference between like a somatic and verbal, is there a difference in like how you would do your stealth for those?
No, it'd just be a 1 stealth check.
Okay, it's not like at advantage or anything.
No,
Did you see what I typed by chance?
I did. Did you want to roll a stealth check to try and do something?
I'm gonna try and remove my manacles because they'll get in the way of my spellcast time. They like have them like cling to like just remove them entirely.
All right, go ahead and roll. Okay, yeah, that's definitely going to be good enough. Hold on, give me 1 second, guys.
Oh, I was not expecting this. This is definitely going to make things a bit more difficult. Oh boy.
Well, no matter what type of barbarian this creature may be, no barbarian is safe from psychic damage.
You're not planning on doing that right now, are you? It's pretty early on.
It's also pretty untraceable.
It is.
They'd have to see my hands move in the dark when they're paying attention to a fight.
That is true.
And it's non-verbal, it's just movement.
Okay.
I doubt that he has a high wisdom.
So you are able to just barely keep your grapple on the Great Ulf. So he is basically, he was able to kind of slam you up against the wall. He was able to, kind of use his weight to maneuver you. But you are able to kind of keep your hold around his midsection, just barely.
Oh, yes! Ooh, my turn?
Mm-hmm. He has pulled out his sword still.
Oh, that ain't gonna do. Let's see if I can do this. As keeping my grip on him, I summon up all the depths of power I have. And I am going to do my signature move.
Suplex.
Suplex.
Okay.
Come on, dice gods, be kind to me!
Roll that strength with advantage.
Come on, man, you got this. Oh, yeah.
All right. So as you are kind of holding on, you feel yourself slammed up against this wall here, and him pressing his great weight against you. And as you kind of dig down to your inner reserves, your core of strength, as you push yourself back away from this wall, you're able to kind of take that momentum and start this spin. And as you complete your spin, you're able to slam this ogre down on the ground behind you. The rest of the party, you see this great monster kind of deposited prone right in front of you.
Is his face towards Ratul, or is his face towards us?
Right here.
Okay.
Alright, and now I'm going to move right onto his back, press my hand against the arm that's currently holding the sword, and I'm going to let my gauntlet ignite for this, as I'm going to hit the pressure point of his shoulder to try to make him drop the sword.
Okay.
Nice!
Go ahead and roll.
Ooh, that's an 11. Don't know why I double-clicked.
Would it be a 15 because we are a oh no.
Wait, he's prone!
Rules.
That's right, he's prone!
He is prone.
He is prone.
So you're going to get advantage.
So that's 15.
Okay. But he He doesn't seem to be wearing any armor, by the way. He actually, you hit him, but he's able to kind of like shrug his shoulder up a little bit, just a little bit. So you kind of hit the meat of his muscle on the shoulder. And as the cestus kind of like slams into the ground next to him, with the ground taking the brunt of the damage. 15 does not hit.
Ooh, this is gonna be something.
Okay.
And that'll be my turn, as I'm now on top of him.
You are on top of him. You have one arm pinned to the ground, and he is prone.
Yeah, I'm keeping I'm keeping him still in the grappled position, so he's 0 speed and prone.
Okay. So he can't even stand up unless he breaks his grapple.
Oh yeah.
He does have disadvantage on attack rolls, but not on skill checks and saving throws. So, you see him just starting to flex his great bulk, and he is basically just trying to just shake you off of him, just with his massive size. Go ahead and roll another strength check, sir. Oof. As he tries to shrug you off, you kind of like, he just kind of does one of those bounce things where he's just trying to like do a quick shake off. You kind of fly up into the air a little bit, but you are able to kind of hold his wrist, and you use that to pull yourself back onto him and pin him back down to the ground again. He says, "Oh,
What's the matter, great Ulfe? I thought you were the strongest.
Little creature, you will die!
And you see him kind of struggling against you for a second, and then he kind of like turns his head to the side, and he says,
Kill them! Kill them now!
and you see both of these wolves, who had kind of been sitting back on their haunches and watching this, immediately get to their feet and dive into attack.
Can we
Okay.
do your prepared actions?
And he says,
You face me, you face my pack!
Some of us had said we prepared actions if things happened. Can we do those at this point?
yes. Everybody go ahead and grab your tokens and roll initiative if you would like to join this.
Yeah, definitely.
I have to wait for Brasnic's word, and so I pretty much told him to let me know what's
We
going on.
about to go down, son.
Yeah, exactly what Brasnic said.
Alright, with that being said, can I drop the manacles and light a torch? Or...
What?
You'll have to get. I mean, like I said, I prepared preparing an action during the whole time.
Yeah.
I was pretty much just waiting for him to let me know what was going on. Obviously, I'd spring to action at that point, but I didn't call
Right.
it, so yeah.
Okay.
I was gonna do stuff.
Gok
if
and Mara
anything
both did.
happened.
So you guys get an action each. What would you like to do?
I prepared to use Mind Spike on this giant creature.
Which one?
This guy. Olf.
The Ulf?
Olaf.
Oh,
Yes.
The Ulf.
Let me cast the spell.
Okay.
Ooh.
DC 14. Great Ulf is not that
Damn.
wise, but he is wise enough. So that's going to cut that in half, correct?
To 6, correct.
To 4.
6 psychic damage.
You think it's 6, do you?
He's got. Is it 5?
I mean, it depends on my mood, I suppose.
I assumed no barbarians get resistance to psychic, right?
Oh no.
No, but you
The
have
Night
half.
Queen gave him stuff.
Oh
you,
no.
you only get half
Yeah.
damage, though, because it's...
Yeah, it's
You
a.
said.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Is it 5 or is it 6? Or do I not know?
It's damage.
Okay, that's
It's
cool. I
damage.
guess.
It's damage
Oh
to
my
his
God.
brain.
Dude.
Okay. So
Okay,
that is
I
going to
was-
be the end of the round. Oh no, I'm sorry, Gok. You get one free
I
action.
was
Go
gonna
for it.
cast an Eldritch Blast if anybody else interrupted the two big guys fighting each other, and I guess I'll shoot one of the wolves.
I
Yeah.
was going to say, you do see, he did say kill them, and you see these wolves stand up. You don't see any of the orcs or any of this other monstrous army seem to be responding. They seem to want to see what happens here.
Oh shit. Yeah.
Should I? Can I have rolled like stealthily so that was the whole point of me like holding that spell was because I didn't want people to see it. So can I
course.
use sleight of hand to see if? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh no! Fuck.
Ooh.
Did you already flight a hand earlier to hold?
That was to get out of the manacles.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
manacle, so I could actually cast the spell.
Yeah, these goblins here definitely see you
Everybody
cast.
saw it.
Everybody.
They saw something.
Everybody.
They just saw my hands move.
That's true.
They don't know because there's no vocals. It's just my hands moved,
Okay.
and he seemed to wince in pain.
Actually, I've got a better idea. I will summon the almighty Jack to come to our aid. I don't know if I can, because, you know, he's,
Yeah.
he needs to be summoned right now. You know, he can help out.
He is there. So what are you doing?
Shucks. I'm gonna have him hide. Kinda. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I'm gonna have him hide. So I'm gonna roll a stealth roll for him. I think, because he's going to attack those wolves if they start attacking the tool. But you know, I'm gonna let him do it, so I look like I'm completely fine. Hang on, where is it? There it is.
Oh wait. Can I use my inspiration on my sleight of hand check?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh,
Go for it.
yeah.
I forgot. I was looking through my sheet. I had inspiration. We'll use one more
Yeah.
sleight of hand.
Oh.
Damn. Oh.
Well,
okay.
there you go. Okay, well,
That's better, but not enough.
Yeah, it's definitely better. Okay, on that note, Jack is completely stealthy, so he's gonna. Oh no, actually, can I move him right now?
Yep. You have control.
Okay, so while he's along the wall, while everybody's distracted, and he's hidden, yeah, he's gonna pass on through because he's a shadow. And I guess he'll be where this goblin is. He's, you know, I can't really figure out another place to put him, but he's gonna be here. And he's going to attack this wolf if it does anything hostile. Shadows. You know? But
Okay.
that's what he's gonna do. He's gonna hide. And he's gonna get ready to attack.
He's just waiting.
My best.
Just hold
And,
his action.
Yeah, he'll hold his action. Just kind of be there. And that'll be my turn. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. So that is going to take us to the top of the order, because those wolves are not going to attack this round. So,
If you can put me in initiative, I'd appreciate it. I'm recovering from a computer crash.
sure thing. Did you already roll?
I don't think so. I was going to, and then I crashed.
You have an 18.
I just rolled you an 18, sir. You're welcome.
Yeesh, everyone's at the top of the initiative, and the wolves are like, "Okay, we're gonna come by in the next couple of rounds."
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to do dire wolf stuff, man.
Red Tool's like, I have a pack too, motherfucker.
Yeah, man. Pack 2. Okay, I guess I'm gonna act, like I'm just watching, and Jack's gonna hold his action, so, that'll be my turn, so you can go, to Red Tool.
Okay, so you're going to hold your action? Or what?
Well,
Because this is the next round.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying, because I know I'm on the top of it. I'm just gonna pretend like nothing happened, and I'm gonna play it cool, and I guess Gok will we'll just see what happens next, because he already has Jack on standby to do something. If those wolves attack or tulips on him.
Right, but Jack's going to get his own action. Gok can hold his action if he would to do something if he wants.
I guess I'll hold mine then. If no less option, I'll hold mine then. Be my turn.
Yeah.
See what happens.
And that's how that works, right? A familiar has its own set of actions, and if he holds his action, it's a separate thing from the caster, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
No, for warlocks, their familiars actually take their attack action as their attack action.
Oh, that's right. Oh, okay.
Well,
So
then I'll just hold.
that's only Pact of the Chain.
He is Pact of the Chain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, then
Yeah,
you would
we'll
have
just
to
hold.
sacrifice your action for Jack to do something. Absolutely.
That's fine. So Jack will just hold his action, and it'll be Ratul's turn.
Okay. The Red Earth. You have maintained your grasp on this creature, and you are in the mounted position on his back on the floor.
Yep, let's start drumming some lessons into the back of his head.
Okay. So you're gonna let go of your grasp on his wrist? Start pummeling? A little ground and pound?
Oh no, I'm going to keep my grasp on his wrist as I want to see if I can dislocate his arm.
Okay. So another strength check, or how are you trying to do that?
I'm going to go ahead and use my main action to try to put his arm into a stress position, and then my bonus action to strike to basically pop it.
Okay, so the first one would be a strength check, and then the next one would be an unarmed attack.
Yep.
Okay, so let's strength check, see what happens here. This Ulf is not happy with you. Damn. Ratul is just having
Too
his
strong.
way. He's having his way with this giant creature. Okay.
As I just basically get his sword arm just wrenched up in like a chicken wing.
Alright, let's see if he can even hold on to the sword here. He does manage to hold on to his sword, but as you kind of force it around, you kind of, draw your head back as the sword comes around, and you're able to actually kind of get him, force it down. So he's got his arm behind him in the chicken wing, and then his sword's kind of sticking out to the side.
Yep, and now that his shoulder is in a stress position, I'm going to use my monk training to basically get the flame cestus ignited again and strike right at the stress point.
Okay. That's it. You're using the flame?
I would if I didn't miss again.
Okay. Yeah, as you got his arm around, but he is struggling against you, and you are winning these tests of strength, but he is not a weak creature by any means. And as you're kind of going to swing down at his shoulder, he's actually able to kind of shake you a little bit and just kind of forces your aim to be off a little bit. As again, your fist kind of slams into the ground next to him, kind of like right by his head.
And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Yin Yang. You hear these sounds of battle. What did Brasnic say to you? He said that shit's going down, right?
Yeah, he
We
pretty much
gotta
said
throw down, baby.
He said pretty much shit's going down, so I'm pretty much gonna just drop the manacles off and use my item interaction and then light up the torch.
Okay, I just dropped one on you.
I'll remain still, and I heard, by the way, when he said you face my pack, did he say that in common?
Does the Great Ulf even speak? He speaks common and giant, so he would have had to say that in common. And a lot of these creatures I've actually taken to using common because there are the mixed races here of this monster horde. So common has kind of become the general tongue that is used within the mountain amongst this horde. So it's kind of a habit almost at this point.
That's why it's called common.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So pretty much upon hearing him say that, I'll pretty much out loud be like, say, funny you say pack as the manacles drop and the torch lights up in my hand. And I'll hold my action, but I'm gathering the wind in my hand if anything interrupts Rutful's fight. Since I've pretty much been listening, I can hear him and see him grappling the one thing, and nothing else is interfering at the moment. But when he says it, I'll just be like, funny you mentioned the pack. Drop the manacles, light the torch, and gather the wind in my hand. Interrupt him, and I'll send you flying.
All right.
I don't know if you want to make a check for that, or I don't know. I'm pretty much trying to tell them, don't fucking interfere.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an intimidation. Oh, it would help if I pulled out these wolves.
I don't get any sort of advantage, do I? Because he's fighting.
No, and it would have been mostly against the wolves, anyway. They definitely do not seem to be intimidated. They just kind of, like dogs do or wolves do when they're about to strike. You see them kind of like bunching their haunches.
Well, I don't see the wolves, so I don't even know that they're there. I can only see Rutful fighting. I was pretty much lighting up a beacon saying, "Don't interrupt."
Okay.
I don't know if it works or not. I don't see them, but whenever it comes after him and their fight, I'm pretty much gonna finish coalescing the ball of wind in my hand and then thrust it forward. I'm pretty much gonna fist of unbroken air, whatever interrupts this fight.
Okay. Laura, we're at 18.
I'm gonna.
Okay.
I probably realized that I was seen, so I'm going to also. I'm just gonna hold my action to cast spell. Specifically, create bonfire. If the actually, yeah, okay. If anyone goes after me, I will create a bonfire either on them or in the nearest square where it makes sense.
Okay. All right. You do see the great Ulfe kind of like and kind of like look in your direction out of the corner of its eyes. Where are you casting this spell?
No, I'm holding my action to do it if someone like moves into attack or before it comes back to my turn. Like as like a warning, or on top of someone who's attacking me or near them.
Okay. Brasnic. Is Brasnic there?
Brasnic!
Did we lose him again?
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Stupid mute button. So for my turn, I would like to have some of my mage hand right behind this wolf, like right around here. And because it's the mage hand from Arcane Trickster, it is invisible.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can do this in the same action or not. I want to pull the doggy's tail.
Oh god, you're gonna make it look like one of the orcs is pulling its tail, aren't you?
Okay.
No, I never do that.
Oh no.
Go ahead and roll deception.
Yay. Do I get advantage for all the sneakiness?
Or roll stealth first.
Still first. 15.
Very good.
With a deception. So perception and advantage.
Oh wait, I should probably do that on the wolf. Okay. Roll that deception.
Normal?
Yeah. Oh no, with advantage is fine.
I'll try the best.
Yeah, it's a good thing I said that.
14.
Okay. You do that, and the wolf kind of like jumps a little bit and turns and looks at the orc, and you see the orc immediately like throws up its hands and it like shakes its head like no, and like points to the orc next to it. And the wolf.
It wasn't me, it was Larry.
The wolf kind of looks at it and then kind of like looks back, just meeting your DC. It kind of senses that it wasn't either one of these creatures, but doesn't know what it was. I mean, it has no idea that you did it, obviously.
Alright, I'm gonna slightly move back then. Just right here.
Okay.
While I'm moving back to over here next to the goblins, like they will crush Gok. Stock. Oh, I said Gok. Stock.
Stuck. Yeah.
Since I'm a giant goblin.
It's that Gok stock. He's a stocky Gok. Alright. That's the end of your turn, sir?
Yes, this is actually, is that pile of, it's like a loose pile of stuff?
Yeah. Barrels and crates and all sorts of stuff.
Can I like dive in there?
Yeah, if you got the movement. You're gonna try and hide?
Dive into the hide.
Didn't you already try?
Why not? No, that was hiding
The casting.
mage hand attempt.
Yeah.
The hiding the cat. This is my bonus action to physically hide. Where's the hell the stealth button? Stealth button. 14.
Okay.
We've been rolling low all night.
Yeah, that's true. All right, so you dive in there and you feel very secure in your hiding spot. So at 12, you see this wolf immediately jump forward and attack Roll from Ratul from behind, trying to pull him off the Great Ulf.
Can I create the bonfire as it moves forward in this square?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty much blasting it with the shotgun of air. As soon as it came in the sight, the edge of the token.
Can you see it there?
Well, now he can when I create the bonfire.
Yep, he can.
It's true. Okay. Go ahead and roll that bonfire ability. It's dexterity, right?
Yep. Oops, wrong thing. I have to use the other button.
It makes a save.
Barely.
Just barely, but it does light up the area enough for Yin Yang. As you jump forward, as you spin in the air, as your foot comes around, or I guess it's a fist, isn't it? As you spin around, as you kind of land with your fist kind of like pointed out towards this creature, it flies over the Great Ulf. It flies just past Ratul as it slams into this creature. This dire wolf trying to attack your friend. And this one is going to be strength.
Finally!
Good enough. As this fist of unbroken hair, unbroken hair, as it hits this creature, how far back does it get thrown?
20 feet.
20 feet. You see this wolf go flying backwards and actually crash into all of these orcs back here. And you see a tumble of bodies and fur.
And I'm pretty much going to slam my feet in the ground again, pretty much saying everything and be like, I warned you!
Okay. Well done.
And see if it does anything. Has one last ditch attempt to maybe scare the other wolf, but I don't know.
Okay. This one, it definitely seems to be intent on fighting with its master.
Okay. I mean, you know.
Speaking of the master,
Speaking
Yeah,
of
speaking like that.
said master, the Great Ulf is tired of you and your shenanigans, and he is again going to try and shake you off. Go ahead and roll a strength check.
Oh. Oh no.
Okay, as again you see him kind of spin his body, and with that movement you see him kind of plant a foot and push up off of the ground as you find yourself kind of deposited over here next to Mara as this creature stands up to its full height and it brings a sword in front of him. Great Ulf, kill you now!
You die trying.
Right.
You shall die.
Does he have a bonus action? I don't think he does.
That would have been his action to break the grapple.
Yep. You're right. So, that leads to Vac. And you see this wolf also dashing forward. You see it running up along these boxes and past these goblins. And seems
Oh,
to be
Jack!
intent on getting around
Yeah.
its master to attack.
I'm gonna say Jack's gonna attack from the shadows. You
Okay.
know? I said I did that a turn. So, and he has advantage because he's been stealth.
It's true.
Well, I mean with the attack. Let me just get this out. Hang on. Oh, hang on. Advantage.
Let's see.
Oof.
Okay, well, that's
The 12 to hit.
Is that, yeah?
As this wolf is kind of charging past, Jack kind of comes out of the shadows off the wall, and you see his form actually kind of distend out from the wall. And you've only seen this happen once before, Gok. Every other time he has been exactly like a shadow on the wall or on the floor or anything else. Something that you feel like you obviously couldn't touch because it's just a patch of, absence of light. But you actually see him physically manifest and come off of this wall as it swipes out at this wolf as it comes by, just barely missing. You see it kind of dragging through the fur as it misses this creature, and you see Jack kind of melt back onto the wall again. As this creature kind of squeezes in between these goblins and Berderg, you see it kind of unerringly making its way towards Ratul.
Dang.
So, does a monster get disadvantage when it's squeezing?
Yeah, anything that's squeezing will have disadvantage.
Okay. So it does have pack tactics, which is going to neutralize that disadvantage. So it is going to roll with a straight attack. 21
That's a
hits
hit.
for 11 points of damage, cut in half because of the raging. Go ahead and roll on a strength save, DC 13.
Nice.
As this creature, it kind of latches onto your arm and it tries to tug you down to the ground with a fierce shake of its head, but you're able to kind of maintain your stance and your strength, and you kind of just hold your arm there with this wolf now kind of clamped onto it.
And if I remember correctly, we round up for half damage, right?
Yes.
Right, just double checking.
So, at the top of the order, we are back to Gok, and you now see that this battle is fully engaged by these wolf-like creatures. You can see that these goblins and the other monstrous horde are still kind of keeping back and holding their space. You see Berderg actually kind of stumbling away from this creature. And in a moment of perception, you see her actually kind of cradling her belly just on instinct as she turns away from the battle.
Dang, I really don't know what to do with that. Wait a minute. I could have Jack maybe try to go in for something. And maybe get a higher chance to hit that guy. That wolf, I mean. No, not the other stuff. Yeah, I'm probably gonna do that just because I'm so close to this thing. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna bonus action. Bonus action dash. No, bonus action disengage. Yeah. I can't dash. I can hide or. Okay, It's gonna get safely behind here as a bonus action.
At the end of the last turn, you guys did notice that it kind of shook, forced its way in here, and then kind of shook these goblins like this one over here, and like tumbled down the stack of crates and kind of out of its way.
Well, I know, but I don't want to get hit by that thing if it's just right next to me.
Sure.
Jack is going to make another attempt to hit this thing. Wait.
Okay.
No, I can do that. I use my book.
You could have also done that before you disengaged.
Well,
if you want
yeah.
if you want that sweet flanking bonus.
Well, I mean, there's like
No,
two
you'd have to be where the
people.
goblin is to get flanking.
But no, if Gok was there and Jack is here, then he would get flanking. It'd be a cross, right? Or does it work like this?
No, it would have to be where the goblins are.
So like here,
Yeah, exactly.
not here.
Yes.
Gotcha.
Well, couldn't
He'd have to
Jack
be
squeeze
there.
into there though?
Yeah, you
I mean,
could go
yeah.
diagonally across there, but not like you're saying.
Okay.
He couldn't be here.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay.
So-
Anyway, could I squeeze into this spot where the goblin is with Jack? Then kind of get some.
I would imagine since he's shadow, he could.
Yeah. He doesn't take up any space. He's a shadow.
Hmm.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
I feel like that's stretching it a little bit, but
Well, I mean, it's up to you. I'm okay.
you're trying to get advantage before you move. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Otherwise, I'm just,
I mean,
just gonna take a swing. Yeah.
if you might as well go there. It doesn't matter. I would be flanking it though, but I'm not in combat with it.
Right.
What happened?
That's fine.
Okay.
Go
I'll
ahead
just-
and move Jack where you would like to move him, and take that.
I guess this be okay. Oh no, trying to figure out where to position.
I mean, I
this.
think you can share a space with a large creature if you're medium.
Okay, well, Jack is going to attempt to do it again. By that I mean hit this thing, but not with advantage. I'm pretty sure it knows.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
It lovingly caresses the fur.
Yeah, it lovely.
It
Man, Jack is not
It
doing
is
too hot.
stroking its fur lovingly and saying, "Nice doggy." Good
Jack,
boy.
quit hitting the damn dog.
Good boy. Who's a good doggy?
Yeah, it's just kind of scratching
Who's a good boy?
back right now.
Technically, Jack can attack from back here.
From where? Oh,
From right there.
yeah.
Yeah, you're literally just one diagonal square away. So,
Yeah.
because you can't share spaces, no matter what,
Yeah.
unless you are swarm.
I thought I could just be there, but then it kind of went inside the wall.
A tiny creature, or is it tiny creatures that count?
Mm-mm. You can. The only time you're sharing spaces is either when you're mounted, or you're a swarm.
Yeah,
I mean, you could mount the Ulf.
I could.
Warm up, swarm, swarm.
You could swarm the Ulf.
I sort of now want to jump on Ulf and say, I'm an ogre rider!
Riding the ogre? Alright,
I mean,
so,
technically speaking, are dwarves considered small or are they considered medium?
medium.
Medium. The
Oh,
only
darn.
small creature in our party is Gok.
Yeah.
So technically speaking, only God could actually do a proper mounting of a larger creature if we were to use that rule set.
Yeah.
Okay, your mounting has to be one size long. Gok would be too small. The dwarf
No,
and
the-
everybody else is just right.
No, actually, you have to be. The creature you need to mount would have to be 2 sizes long. In any case, let's keep moving. We don't want to drag out
Yeah.
the.
Okay.
They were
I finished my
understandable.
turn because I did all that I could do, and we're two.
Okay, so we are to Reto. Let's get back with this fucking business. So he is standing in front of you. You do have a wolf clamping onto your left arm, and that's going to be like basically just above where the cestus ends. So just above your elbow is where this wolf is kind of locked onto you.
Is this how you defeat my father? by summoning your pack.
Oh, your father. You'll meet him soon.
I'll send you there first.
And I'm going to try to grapple him again.
Okay. Let's roll a sting dice. I mean, you've been rolling good on those so far. So.
Oh no!
No. As you try and grapple him again, he just kind of throws you off.
Oh, 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 oh.
I'm going to punch him in the gut.
Okay. Oh, that, my friend, is going to hit. You using the flame?
I'm using the flame.
Okay, so 12 points of damage. As you punch him in the gut, the flame, shoot or kind of like spreads out from the impact, kind of races across his stomach and up his chest a little bit. You see him kind of stagger back a little bit in surprise, and he kind of looks down and looks back up at you.
Oh, nice trick, but not enough for the Ulfe.
And that will be my turn.
Okay, so he does take half damage on that. Yin Yang. You see
So
this
it's
wolf?
he backed away from the fire.
Huh?
It seemed like he just took the blow, or he was afraid more of the fire.
He was just surprised by it. He wasn't expecting flame to come, shooting out of a fist strike.
Okay.
You do just see this wolf hanging off your friend's arm.
I know, I see that. I'm just trying to determine some things. I don't know if I see Gok's shadow or not there.
From that distance, he would probably blend into the rest of the surrounding darkness.
So I wouldn't know he's there.
Not specifically, I wouldn't think so. I mean, if you want to roll a perception, go for it. Absolutely, I'll give you the shot. Uh,
15.
15, yeah.
What was his stealth roll? Oh wait, he came out of stealth to attack.
He did. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that would be enough. You can kind of differentiate him just enough, just barely.
Gok, can your shadow be damaged?
But it can be, but it depends on what it is. How much it is.
God, mother! And I'll just punch the wolf a couple times, or hit him with my stack. Pretty much do a spin on top of the head and then do just a front kick up underneath the chin. Try to just get it to let go of Ratul.
Okay.
Or did he even get a hold of him? It didn't grab him because he didn't pull him to the ground. So pretty much, I'm just hitting him in the head over the top of the staff and then under the chin with the kick.
Okay. Gok's having an issue.
17.
Okay, 17 is gonna hit.
Stop wasting your crits.
I forgot to turn it off.
Oh man.
Oh my god, my damage is coming up with an error.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Good. Jeez.
There we go.
So 6 points?
I just re-rolled it to get the damage, that's all.
Sure. Okay. So as your staff lashes out, slams into its head, you see its head kind of like snap to the side as it kind of like shakes its head a little bit and looks over at you, starts to growl right as your fist comes in. Let's see, I'm pretty sure 14 does hit. So as it's kind of turning back towards you, you follow up with a fist right to the spot right where the staff just hit. And you see again as its head snaps to the side and it kind of like shakes it even more this time. It's like...
Kind of do like a little Bruce Lee, "Wah," and kind of put my hand out and come on.
Okay.
Come get you some. And
At the
that'll be my
same time, Mara, what would you like to do?
How flammable is all of this?
I mean, it's wooden crates, barrels. You know, it's definitely something that could catch fire.
Cool. I think I'll just. So is this a space with both barrels and this guy, and the great Ulf?
Yeah, there would be some flammable materials in his proximity.
Don't want to directly influence it anymore. I am going to create bonfire right here.
Okay. On the wolf.
Yes, but it'll create it on the ground, which will ignite the barrels as well.
It's true.
Is the other one
Oof.
disappear?
What? The other one disappears. It is a concentration spell,
Right.
but it will. Bonfire ignites flammable objects in the air that aren't being worn or carried, so it's going to ignite a fire in this area.
It's true. The fire will be as big as that is for now, and it's going to cast that much light. And
Yeah, this turn I assume it's not going to get bigger, but the fire has been lit.
it's true. You see that this wolf is definitely, as soon as the flames start off, it kind of yelps and it dances away from it easily.
Well,
That's
Wolf
fine.
And the shadow have to make a check too.
Not yet.
5 feet.
Not yet.
Well, no. When you do the spell, it fills a fire. Keep any creature in the bonfire space. My mistake.
Yes. But now it's on fire. They will have to if the fire gets bigger. And that is my turn.
All right. Brasnic. I just want to keep in mind that Yin Yang does have to work in the morning, so we're not going to go too much further past 9 o'clock, which is in about 10 minutes. So we'll see how this transpires here. Hopefully we can finish this up tonight if Yin Yang doesn't mind hanging out for a little bit longer. Otherwise, we may have to pick this up next week.
We can probably finish the fight. It's only 11:50. I don't have to be at work until I think 9:30.
Okay.
So I can put a little past 12, so not far.
Okay. Brasnic, what would you like to do? You're currently hidden. And push to talk. Did we lose our dwarf in the rubble?
He is muted at the moment, so maybe.
Okay. We'll circle back to Brasnic. Thrag, who is currently tangled up in this mass of orcs.
By the way, he was knocked prone when sent flying. By the way.
Brasnic is typing. He might be having an error or an issue. Give him a moment.
Okay, well, while he types that out, did you hear me about the wolf?
What about the wolf?
When he got sent flying backwards, he was also knocked prone.
Oh yeah, he tumbled into a bunch of orcs and they're pretty much a pile of fur and bodies right now.
I'm so happy I finally knocked something backwards with it.
Right? Worked. What is the movement on a wolf? Oh, nice. Using half your distance is so dumb. I think that mechanic is kind of dumb. It should be like 10 feet to get up. Anyway.
I believe that's what the agile feed is for, or something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so what are you going to do with this help action? How are you trying to distract him? Are you trying to give Ratul advantage on or something, or what is your intention here? Because he does have advantage already from raging. Is your microphone broken? Is it too late for talking? Okay. You can definitely do that. So you pop your head up out from your hidey hole, cast magic missile. Alright, go ahead and roll. See how much damage you do. Now that we're deep into this battle, I realize that we don't have fight music on. Boom. Boom. Do you get 3 or just 2 at your level?
It's always 3,
Always 3.
and then you can get more at higher levels.
That's fair. So we have 9 points. We have a total of 14. Nice damage on that. Okay, you can see that this wolf is definitely starting to take the hits. It's looking a little worse for the wear. And you see that the Great Ulf kind of looks over and notices this, and kind of looks even angrier than the rage state that he's currently in. Did you want to try and hide as a bonus action? Okay, go ahead and make that roll. And you see Thrag does use half of his movement to get up as he kind of shakes these orcs off of him. And then he is going to... How far can he get? He can only get to here. You see
Nice.
Nice roll. You see him kind of gets to there, and he seems to be eyeballing Ratul kind of past his master. Doesn't seem like he can get past his master's massive form to do anything this round, though. The Great Ulf, however, definitely has reach. And you see him looking at you, Ratul, as he's holding his weapon, and he just kind of seeing his pet Vac being hurt so badly, he just and he swings his weapon at you, and he is going to recklessly attack you.
Oh, that's going to be bad.
We can get through this.
So he is going to have advantage on his attack roll against you, but you will have advantage on your attack rolls against him.
Isn't it everyone who attacks him gets advantage?
Yep.
It's true.
Is it only for melee attacks or for any attacks?
Any attack.
Any attack.
Interesting.
Does a 21 hit?
Yep. Oh, that hurts.
As Wolf's Claw sings through the air, slashes you across your chest, and you feel that scar that you got from Dern is nothing compared to this pain that you feel from this weapon opening up the entire front of you, as you take 12 points of damage.
Yep. No, this new Skash is just putting Durnan's big X on me to shame.
He says, Wolf's Claw killed your father. Wolf's Claw killed you too. Did you see Vac?
It has to make another deck save.
Yes. Yes, it does. Oh,
It takes. Let me roll. Let me do the attack or the spell thing.
Okay.
Takes 5 fire damage.
All right. You hear the yelp of this creature as this fire starts to burn its hindquarters, and you see it actually looking around, and immediately you see it start to turn and run away. Is going to disengage and move past this way, and it's only going to get half movement because of difficult terrain. So you see
Wait.
it kind
Could Jack get an attack of opportunity?
of disengage
Oh.
and kind of leaps over Thrag and kind of lands in the spot where it is. And you see it doesn't seem to want to retreat any further than where it is, just knowing, on instinct that its master would beat it for deserting the fight. But it definitely looks injured and not wanting to openly engage at this point. So, at the top of the order, we have a Sour Gut.
Okay. Well, Ratul's not looking too good right now. I could try something as me, but I don't know if it would work. Okay, what is this on? How high is the DC for this thing right now? I don't think it's. Okay. It's. Oh man, really? That's terrible. Okay. Okay.
And imagine if you had to fight all these orcs and hoggoblins and shit.
Yeah.
You guys would be
Okay.
fucked.
I'm surprised they're not getting involved.
I'm surprised they haven't attacked anybody else.
They really hate this guy.
Yeah, they must really hate this dude.
Let's just count it as a boon and not question it.
Okay.
They probably think that we can beat him, so they're like, "Fuck it."
Yeah. Wait, is this? He's also right there. This little wolf here, right?
This wolf is also looking injured.
Okay. But it's
That's
not.
the one that got blasted by Yin Yang.
Remember, he did recklessly attack Ratul.
I know. But sort. Well, I think Jack kind of wants to get in. I don't know if Ratul will feel like that's kind of dishonorable or something. Because, he's a... I mean,
This ogre does not look very hurt at this point, and Ratul looks very injured by that last strike.
Not to mention the fact that he called his buddies in, so he can't already forfeited the right towards a one-on-one duel.
that is true. Okay, I'll attack him. With advantage? No.
Yep.
Wait, actually, I don't know. How are we doing the rules for this?
Well, no, it's got advantage because he recklessly attacked. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Just blast away.
just blast the guy.
Well,
Oof.
Are you...
That advantage did not help you, sir.
And Jack is just basically gently caressing everything.
Man, he is a hugger, not a fighter right now. We don't need huggers, we need fighters at this point.
Okay.
Okay. That was my action.
Yeah, sadly, Jack does not do his strength drain yet.
Wait. But Gok can use his bonus action
Yes, it's true.
hide? Because he can do that. Because he's a guy. So
Okay. Are you gonna try and hide right there, or what are you doing?
I guess amongst the crates as well. Try to hide behind.
Gonna dive in next to Brasnic?
Yeah. Kind of like here.
No one knows I'm there.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know you're there, so I'll just I'll hide there thinking that nobody's here already.
I feel like as soon as you get inside, it's like, up the goblin, grab him! You know?
Go ahead and roll.
Okay.
Welcome back to the mic side, Brasnic.
Oh my god. I'm not rolling great at all.
As you try and dive into this stack of compiled barrels and crates and whatnot, as you dive in, you actually accidentally move aside one of the supporting boxes, and as all of this stuff kind of tumbles down and around, it actually falls completely away from you, so you're not hidden at all, and then it actually exposes Brasnic as well. You suddenly see Brasnic sitting there like he's hiding, but all of the stuff falls out and away from him, and he's just sitting there.
I smack him upside the head.
Yeah, well, that's you get for natural one. I guess that's my turn. That's my turn. Yes.
Ratul. That hurt. That hurt a lot.
Yep, time to neutralize that. As he still has his arm out, I'm going to go ahead and try to grab him around the wrist, step in, and basically twist his arm bone to basically force opening of his hand.
Okay, go ahead and roll strength.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, you come in and you grab a hold of his wrist, and as you come in and you try and put the leverage on him, he actually just lifts you straight up into the air, and you feel your feet. And this is one of the very first times in your life you've ever been kind of just manhandled, not necessarily manhandled, but just lifted up just on sheer strength alone. And he just kind of one time just kind of shakes his mighty fist, and you just kind of drop back and loosen your grip on him and drop back to the ground.
Actually, this is a perfect point for me, because before I fall back to the ground at this current position, I'm going to use my bonus action to do an old trick the master taught me.
Okay.
As I let go of it, actually use it to actually go ahead and clap my hands around his shoulders, bring my head back, and go for a full-on headbutt. A dwarvish headbutt.
Okay. As you spin and grab a hold of his shoulders, lashing out with the mighty green forehead, as your forehead connects with his nose, you see blood just explode on both sides, just shooting out from his face. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Ooh, don't know why he's double clicking like that, but that's going to be a total of
11?
Yep, total of.
Okay. So that will be 6. Alright, so you see him kind of shake his head as you see blood. His nose is just completely smashed now. You see blood just kind of pouring down his lips and down his chin. And oh. Good strike.
And that will be my turn.
Yin Yang. You just saw this massive display from your friend, but you know he's hurting.
I know. I'm kind of contemplating what to do here, though. From where I'm trying to put this at, a cone wouldn't hit him, would it?
Yeah, I'd say it would.
You're doing like a fire cone.
I mean, enough of it would kind of come around the corner to be able to hit the edge of it.
I mean, technically, if you just shoot the cone from right here, it wouldn't hit Ratul. It won't hit him. This guy.
I think it's 15 feet. That's what I was trying to figure.
Yeah, it wouldn't hit the other wolf though.
I mean, it would.
Him, the wolf.
And Jack.
Yeah.
And that goblin.
True.
I mean, if I could, I would angle it that way to make sure it hit them, but I don't know how well I can do that given the space I have.
Well, the cone for the thing is normally shown as 1 square, then 3 squares, 3 squares. So it's like 1 square.
It's 1, 3, then 5 squares, right?
Let's do this.
That's weird that way.
Oh no, it's 1, 3, then 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 3, 3. At least for the roll 20 I've seen.
Yeah, I got this. Let's see. So it'd have to be what, that big? Boom.
Put it up another space higher. I was doing it.
There you go. That's exactly right.
That's how it goes.
That is how the cone goes.
Okay, well that defeats the purpose of what I was asking then. A second ago, I was asking if I could have reached there. That's what I was asking.
There's 2 different versions. There's one that goes straight out, and there's one that is at the angle. So you have 2 options here.
I think he wants the angled one.
Yeah, I guess that if that would hit all 3 of them.
It would. Right?
No.
Nope.
No.
You gotta make a choice. Either try to hit both the wolves or hit the wolf, Mr. Ulfe, and Jack.
Okay, then the original one.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that angled one then, because then it doesn't hit.
You could always go down. Oh yeah.
I'm here.
Okay, so I just want to point out that this current one you have is the one you should do, because the angled one, you literally impact the wall, and unlike football where it says the flames go around corners, burning hands or cinder kick, whatever you're doing, which is AKA burning hands, does not say that.
Okay.
That would blow up in your face for sure.
Alright, then that way then. I'll try to hit as many of them as I can.
Oh no.
Alright. So Jack's gonna be in there too.
But I mean, you know. Oh, okay, 5. And then he takes half damage, half fire damage. He's resistant to it.
So he takes 2.
He takes 2 damage.
Okay. And it's Dex for Ulf and the wolf.
Did that purposely rhyme?
Yes. No.
And he is not dexterous.
He is not dexterous at all, and neither is that wolf.
Oh, that's a dead wolf.
So we are going to be doing 10 points of damage to this wolf.
And if those barrels were not on fire, they are now.
They are.
Oh yeah, the fire should have grown at the top of the round.
That would be no, because it was on my turn that I created it, so it should have been. It's about to grow anyway, so he'll have to make it one on my turn or on his turn. I don't know how it works.
Yeah, I'm just helping make the flame, I guess, grow bigger.
Yeah,
Normally it's on his turn.
yeah. On his turn, he'll have to do it.
And the elf's going to take half damage because of the range.
I want to look at him and be like, oh, you're a big ass oaf, and step back. And he can attack me because he's mobile.
Yep.
I thought you had to make a melee attack for mobile to work.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have to make an attack, period.
Yeah.
Oh, seriously? That's cool.
Yep, mobile is really good for pretty much anything you need.
Okay. And you see a lot of these goblins kind of like responding to this blast. They're all like, "Wow!" very, very impressed
Sure
by this
they're running
combat so
away.
far. They are definitely going to be running away at this point, trying to get away from these flames. Even this one that fell kind of gets up. This is going to. Let's do this. Make that a drawing. And there. Okay. So that's the end of Yin Yang's turn. Mara, you see this bonfire starting to grow and just take on a life of its own at this point.
I'm going to look directly at the shaman and say, now is the time. Now is the time to make a move. And I'm going to... can't do anything. Can't do a lot of things. So I am just going to throw up some magic missiles at this guy. Pop, pop, pop.
You upcasting?
Just the first three, not the four. I'm not upcasting.
Okay. So 5 points of damage total. All right, you see him pop, 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 hit into the monster. You see it. He's starting to look, damaged by these various hits that are starting to take their toll.
Wait a minute, only 5 points of force damage?
Yeah.
He's raging.
Raging.
Is he is he a bear totem barbarian?
No, he's wolf tongue.
He does not get resistant to force. That's full damage.
You only get resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing unless you're a bear totem. Then you get resistance to everything except for psychic, and that's
Well, then he took full damage from the fire.
yes.
Okay.
That's the big thing about being a bear totem barbarian. You get
You become near unkillable.
Okay.
and I'm not going to move. I'm just going to stay there and look him dead in the eyes and say, "You will die." After saying you should make, I was like very clear to this shaman to make a fucking move.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What does this I have Grinch want to say about that? I don't know what I would roll on that. Let's just roll an intelligence check.
There you go.
Okay. And that's the end of your turn?
That's all I'm going to do.
Brasnic, you are exposed.
Run screaming at Ulfe, screaming Lotar Gar or something. I'm not kidding.
The best way to go out.
But I am going to go ahead, Gok, rush over here, and since this is turned into a clusterfuck, repeatedly stab at Ulfe.
You do have advantage because he did reckless attack on his last turn.
Yep, I realize that. So, short sword and dash.
Come on, crit.
That wasn't the right button. $20. So there's that. And then the offhand dagger.
Alright, so he's going to get the resistance to the piercing, but not to the sneak attack damage. So
No, sneak attack damage is considered any type of the damage that the base weapon is, so sneak will be halved.
That rule's been errated out of the book.
What?
Oh, that's cool.
Like, the book used to say that, like, it used to be considered the same type of damage as whatever weapon you're building. It used to literally say that in the book. I went back and looked into the books for the up-to-date edition. Sneak attack it doesn't say that for sneak attack anymore.
Oh, so sneak attack's now an individual damage effect?
It's just like there's no type of damage. It's just damage, period, and you
It's
can't really
supposed.
resist it.
I mean, like thematically, it's supposed to be like how
You're
like
hitting a weak spot.
yeah, and it's basically the character's weak spot that isn't really tied to
Yeah.
like a damage. It's
Oh.
just their body is failing.
So,
So I'm
yeah,
guessing
sneak
that's what
attack
they're going
actually. Yeah, sneak attack actually bypasses rage. Noted.
Yeah, DM noted that too. So,
But does 15 hit?
the 20 hits, so you're going to do a total of 11 on that first attack. 15 is not going to hit, however.
Alright.
As you kind of stab in with your dagger, he is able to kind of it kind of hits against his freaking loincloth or something. I don't know. You missed.
The one part of the kilt.
The one part that's armored. All right,
Ah,
is that going to be the end of your turn?
You can protect your legs, but yeah, that's the end of
This wolf is seriously hurt at this point, but it is not smart enough to know when to quit. Let's see. So it is going to run up this pile of crates. It is going to leap over this fire and land down here.
So it's traveling through the fire.
Yes. Well, it's jumping over the fire, which is going to take some of its movement.
Okay.
And as it lands down here, it is going to 1 or 2. It's Mara. 3 or 4. It will be Yin Yang. Mara, you're going to get attacked.
Cool.
Let's see. Does it have an ally within 5 feet? Yes, it does.
Within 10 feet?
Within 5 feet.
Does
It has an ally within 5 feet of you, and that's what it needs.
Oh, within 5 feet of me. Ouch.
So it is going to get advantage against you.
That will hit.
For 8 points of piercing damage, as this thing like lunges out at you and bites you right on your side. Go ahead and roll that strength saving throw.
Yeah, give me a second. Oh yes, I am knocked prone.
Yeah, it definitely knocks you down to the ground after it bit you, and seems to want to kind of like try and savage you while you're on the ground prone. That will be the end of its turn.
Give me a second. I have to make a con save.
Sure thing.
Okay, I'm good.
So, Birderg. Now, Birderg has already cast some magic here too. Well, that's really weird. It's not showing me all my spells. Okay, so let's see. And this is really weird. It is not allowing me to scroll down here.
So what are you trying to do?
I'm just trying to read the effects of the spell.
Resistant?
Yeah.
Touch one with a creature. Oh, bless.
Okay. So she actually is looks at Ratul, Mara, and Yin Yang, and cast the bless spell. And you see her over there just she sprinkles what looks to be like some kind of water out in front of her, and she points at the 3 of you. So
She's not in the dwarf, is she?
she did not help the dwarf. Sorry, sir.
I'm news.
At the same time, you see the Great Ulf beset
Does
by...
he have to? Oh,
I'm sorry, what?
does he have to make a? Is the fire over him yet?
No. Next round.
Okay.
Beset by enemies, you see him again raise up Wolf's Claw, and realizing that still the main threat in front of him is going to be this orc. Oh man. Put away his character sheet for some reason. Alright, so this orc in front of him, he is going to recklessly attack you again.
Oh boy. As long as he doesn't crit.
It's an 18 hit.
18 hits, but that's not enough damage to down me.
Okay. So he does the 17 cut in half for you. So is rage not cut in half? Should we just go ahead and cover that real quick? Or
Extended rage is bonus damage to the weapon attack? Let me double check it. Let me read the wording. It's a straight +2 bonus, so it will not be cut in half.
Okay, so you will take that 8 points plus the 2, so 10 points total. Oof. You see another mighty slash across Ratul, and you see his whole midsection just burst open as his insides start to almost bulge out, and you see blood spray. Ratul is looking extremely weakened at this point. At 8, this other wolf is also heedlessly going to jump in to try and defend its master. How is it going to do so is the question. So it is going to squeeze past everybody here and try to attack. Let's see. The enemies.
Did it also? Wow, that's a lot of movement.
It has 50 movement, and I used 25 to get to. So, let's go with the D6 on this one. Starting with Brasnic and going clockwise. 1, 2, 3, Gok. As you're sitting there and you see this wolf kind of land down, the biggest wolf you've ever seen lands down right in the middle of your party, and you see it just eyeballing you as you're huddled down amidst all this refuse and crates and barrels, and it immediately lunges at you.
What? I didn't do anything hostile to you.
But sadly misses as you're trying to like backpedal and scrape yourself across, crab walk backwards across the floor. You actually kind of kick a box, and it kind of like just happens to fall right in front of you as the wolf lunges and blocks his attack.
Oh, shit.
Gok.
Okay, I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage from this thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Just gonna move here. Okay, and I'm gonna Eldritch Blast this son of a bee. Tried to just chomp on me right now.
Okay.
Okay.
'18's gonna hit.
Yeah. Okay, that's. Okay, the one had to come from somewhere.
As your the Kablavity Blue fucking blasts out against it, you see it kind of wash over the form, Doesn't quite do the damage you were expecting
No,
from the attack. But it looked pretty.
well, I mean, I guess he's still up, because, you know. Oh, but I probably should have gotten Jack away from the fire, but, yeah, I mean, he'll be okay.
I mean, you can still move him.
It's
Oh,
not
buddy.
like you're using. He has his own turn. It's just that when you attack for you, it's basically say Jack attack, and you don't do anything.
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, I'll just move away then.
And also, as something I don't think I went over with you, the animated armor doesn't really attack, but it is going to give you a reaction to impose disadvantage on any one attack.
Ah. Okay. Well.
And it follows wherever you go.
Yeah. I think that's probably pretty good. But yeah, I think that's about it. I moved them a little bit away from the crates, and I kind of shot the wolf. I didn't kill it, which I kind of wish I did, but
Okay. Keep in mind that you can use Jack to give your allies the +2 flanking advantage.
Oh, right. Wait, I guess if he's here? Right?
You have
Sure.
to move him down for Ratul, but yeah, that works for me.
Be for Brasnic and Ratul. But not
I
for
mean, he
Mark.
already is doing reckless attacks, so you do, well, it will do +2 on top of whatever they
Yeah,
roll. That's
plus
really
+2.
good.
Yeah, it's different.
Oh, damn.
Because there's
Okay.
already so many ways to get advantage there. It should only be
I'm gonna have Jack take one for the team right now, because, you know,
You don't
Ritul's
have to be there.
taking...
That's
Well,
not going to
no.
give Mara advantage or a +2.
Well, but we'll give Ratul advantages.
You could be right there and give it to both Brasnic and Ratul.
Okay,
That's much better. I'm not
I'll-
gonna I'm not gonna attack.
Okay, yeah. He'll just stay there then instead of moving to the
Okay.
side. Anyway, that's the amateur.
All right. Ratul.
Barfing up blood here.
Yeah, you are severely wounded at this point. Definitely feeling these strikes.
How's he looking?
Looks like these hits are starting to accumulate on him. He looks like maybe he's about half.
I will not fall.
And I'm going to basically just sum down as much strength as I can. Try and remember every bit of teaching I learned from both my master and from my father. And I'm going to strike out.
Okay.
$17.
Okay. 17, my friend, is exactly what you need to hit.
So that's a total of 5 damage to him.
All right. So as you lash out with your fist, how are you hitting him? Just like a punch? As you lash out and you just smash him right in the face with a big giant fist.
And now bonus action, the dragon flame.
Okay. Oof.
I do believe 23 hits.
23 is going to hit. And that's the, what's the other +1 from? Or the
That's from
barrel?
blast. He already used the blast on that first one, though.
No, bless applies to all attacks.
It's all attacks? I thought it was just
Yes.
the first.
No,
Oh, damn.
every attack.
No, every attack.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Before the spell ends. And
Never
it's
mind.
concentration up to a minute, so.
Really good.
And don't forget that, so the 2, wait a minute, was it +1 from Bless?
Yeah, the +1 was from blast, +2 from flanking.
Right, okay, perfect. Alright, 23 is definitely going to hit. Go ahead and roll that damage. Now you're going to do the flame damage as well.
Ooh, and that I accidentally double clicked on it, but that's near max damage here.
Yeah. So you're going to do
So that's
5 from the bludgeoning, and then another 8 from the fire and the rage. So 13 points. As you lash out with the first hit, you see his head kind of snap to one side, and as you come back with the second one, the other one to match to the other side of his head, you see the flame again spread out from the point of impact, and you see it just kind of engulf the whole side of his head. You see the eye patch actually kind of burn off of his face, and you see a mangled and destroyed eye behind where the eye patch was. And
I see where my father left his mark. You will die.
And that'll be my turn.
Yin Yang. He definitely looks pretty hurt now.
Yeah, I saw that. So priorities are shifting a little bit. I'm gonna be like, Mara, you got to forgive me. I'm gonna try to pretty much just like jump over her.
I am prone, so
Yeah.
also probably good.
Well, I was gonna help you, but seeing where two about to fall, as close as he is, priorities are shifting. I'll take the opportunity attack from this thing if it chooses to take it.
Okay. It will. Oh.
Of course.
He said, of course. 12 points. As you leap over Mara, this thing actually just snaps at you to the side, and you feel the side of your leg just kind of completely rip open from its teeth. So you take 12 points of piercing damage. As you land down kind of gingerly next to the Great Ulf.
I'm just thinking, it's like, it's okay. I'm pretty sure your ribs still hurt. But that's the one I blasted back, I believe, in it.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'll take both strikes at... Oh, I'll pretty much try to go with the bow staff under the chin, and then low blow.
Okay, go ahead and roll.
You have advantage, don't forget.
Your first attack.
19. It's gonna hit. Okay, so 3 points. Definite hit. For another 4 points. And you can see this creature. He's definitely feeling the hits now, and you see him like kind of getting in a defensive posture. Does not look like he has any intentions on trying to break away from this combat.
Alright, and typical duck and weave.
Okay. And as you back away from the conflict, Mara.
I'm going to, seeing that there's enemies on all sides and I'm unsure what to do, I need to, give me 1 second. I'm going to use magic missile. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to kill this guy who just was on me. Or not kill, I'm going to send them at this one.
Okay. So as your 3 missiles, you see the first 2 pummel into it, and as it starts to fall, as the third one slams into it as well. And the creature howls out its last as it falls to the floor dead. And you see the wolf howl. This wolf howls, and then you see the Great Ulf says, "No, no."
And I have to check something. Yes, that's all I can do right now. So I'm gonna pass turn.
Okay. Brasnic.
Someone save me from the other fucking wolf.
You should have stood up.
Oh, sorry. I should have stored. I fucking whatever. I didn't stand up.
Wait, now is Ratul like really still hurting again?
Oh yeah. You suddenly hear behind you, "I'm coming!" Clink, 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 clink.
Arr, I'm coming to save you guys. Arr. I'm Grybek. I'm pretty sure Grybek sounds like this when he's a normal conversation. Regular.
Arr, he's not a pirate.
He could be.
He's an Underdark dwarf. Alright, Brasnic, what would you like to do?
Go for the knees! Dwarven tactic!
Giant Slayer.
So 20 since plus 2. Does that hit?
Alright, that 18 is definitely going to hit. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Why?
Oh, man. So, 4 points piercing, and with that, 6 points of sneak attack damage.
And the bonus action is the...
Okay. As you pull
That's
out the
so
short sword and the blood spatters, you see him. So many little rats! That dagger is gonna miss.
Wait, do I still have advantage or
You
not?
do still have advantage.
Okay.
And with that advantage, it is going to hit.
Alright, it's just 1d4. 2 piercing. So 1.
Minimal damage.
As that dagger slices him, again, every little point's gonna help. You see him definitely bruised, pummeled, bleeding from a multitude of wounds at this point. Which leaves us with the Great Ulfe. Well, this is not really a choice for him. He is going to swing at Ratul.
Sorry, I have a. Is the fire big enough to reach him now? You said this last round that it would be big enough to reach him at this point. It had like 3 turns to grow.
I mean, it's grown every turn.
Yeah, but wouldn't
I mean,
it grow
it's
in all
fast
directions? Yeah,
It would
would it be
grow in
like
all
it'd be
directions.
like here, right? That's where it should be, right? Given it started in this square.
You're killing me, Smalls.
We're trying to live and stay alive.
Oh
Don't blame
my
us.
God.
Oof.
Roll that damage.
Yeah. I understand though, it feels kind of bad when you're big guy. So.
Okay. So -5. As the flames lick up him, you see it like starting to race up his side, and you see him looking over at his dead wolf. He sees the other wolf beset by enemies, and he turns as the flames are even engulfing him on his side. He turns and looks at you, Ratul. He says, "I'll be taking you with us," as he swings at you with reckless fury.
I don't think it matters what damage it is. He hits, I'm going down.
Well, if he does 30, or if he does, what, 60 damage, you die?
Not worry about 60. That's a miss. That's a miss!
As he swings at you, as you dodge out of the way, his sword, clang, slams against the ground.
Yeah, no, I actually used my cestus just to barely deflect it.
As you deflect the blade to the side, as that clangs against the ground, and he looks up at you, realizing. realizing the end is near. You see Birder step up and looking at the Great Ulf, she steps forward and says, "Drop!" One word as she points at him, pointing at his sword. What is the DC on this person? DC is 11.
Oh!
And you see the Great Ulf kind of like clench his grip on his weapon. Says, "Traitor! Your son will avenge me." I'm a coming!
Clank, clank, clank.
Ka-clank, ka-clank, ka-clank as he runs in. You see Grybek run up to this wolf. Hammer out. Smashes into the creature. As he comes running up and just cracks this wolf right across the skull, you just hear this sickening crunch as the wolf falls over dead to the ground.
You're good.
Good job, Grybek. Which brings us to the top of the order, and Mr. Gok Sour Gut.
Wait. Is this wolf's corpse gonna count as difficult terrain? For the sake of brevity, just yeah. Otherwise.
Go for it, buddy.
Okay. No, not there. Jeez.
Please tell me I'm able to get the final blow for this bastard.
I'm gonna Eldritch Blast him.
Okay.
Now.
I swear to God, Gok!
You get advantage.
Okay.
Rolls
And-
double nat ones, kills
I'm gonna use
kills
Fury of the
duel.
Small.
Feeling that 20 coming.
Double nat ones.
Fury of the Small, finally. For this one. So I get
Okay.
+3 to this.
Oh. Gok's gonna be the new leader of the monster horde.
Oh,
14.
Are you?
14 to
As Gok
So I use Fury of
steps
the
up, do you say anything as you're blasting him?
Small. Do I kill?
Let me rephrase this and say, how would you like to do this?
Ah! He steals the light!
Well, I feel a little bit bad now, actually.
It's very fitting
You
for
feel
the
good.
character. No, it's very fitting for the character. Don't feel bad.
That even. He called in his pack while Tool got his. This kind of became a battle of packs, essentially.
Okay, well,
You know what? Nope. You have this. Take it.
okay.
Goliath.
Got it. Okay. Well, shit. I guess what I'm gonna do is thinking at first that this is just going to like damage him because he's gone through a lot of failed Eldritch Blasts and hit people, so it's just like I'll just fling it over there. He flings spectral energy from his hands at the ogre, and I guess it just goes through his head unceremoniously and kills him.
As
And
you're
in-
like, all right, well, I mean, I guess I'll just blast him. So you just like, wave your wand just kind of towards him, like totally nonchalantly. And as the purplish energy lances out, you see it like hits him right in his already ruined eye socket, and you see that whole section of his face and his head just disappear as the purplish energy kind of like fades away. You see this kind of smoking ruin, or half of this ogre's face, as he slowly kind of stands up straight and then falls backward, dead to the stone.
And I will say, seeing that Gok finally got his moment of glory by complete accident, because this is, I thought I was just gonna damage him to where he was gonna die. Just fall over next year. He's gonna go. Yes. Who is your oath now? It is I. I bring power. I am your new leader. you know. You know, that's how it works, right? I killed the guy.
I
So
mean,
now,
we are going to pick up the answer to that question next week. I am so happy how this turned out. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Thank you to Yin Yang for staying up late. We definitely appreciate you for that. Thank you to anyone that's watching and hanging out with us. This was a lot of fun. What is going to happen? Because there was a challenge for leadership of this tribe, and this tiny little goblin just struck the final blow. So let's see what happens next week on the Fireside Tales and see what direction this goes in. Definitely had a lot of fun tonight. Thanks for coming to play tonight, guys. It's definitely good times. I look forward to next week and seeing what the resolution of this is in this moment. Definitely interesting. We're going to go ahead and cut it for the night. Thanks for joining us, and we will see everybody next week. Have a good night, everyone.
good night.
Good night, everyone.
It was the Fury of the Small.
God damn it!
I didn't mean to, man. I thought I was just gonna hurt him a lot.
It hurt him a lot. And on that note, have a good night, Joe.